Hello gamers, welcome to a brand new DSP video. I kind of want to go through the best segment of the podcast, the DSP news segment, in two particular podcasts. So we're going to watch them and all this stuff. Little heads up, I slept on my shoulder funny, I guess, and now I'm like in pain or soreness, whatever here. So depending on how I look or move, I may be in pain or whatever. Don't worry, it's fine. I'll be sure to take out my pain on you guys, because that's what a mature adult does. When they're in pain, they take it out on you. They don't take it out on like something else. They take it out on another person, because that's what a normal person does, right? Correct? All right, let's get into it. Let's go. Let's fucking go. Obviously.
Time for DSP news. And we've got a ton of news to talk about today.
Now, of course,
first of all,
these are old gaming news segments. I've been always wanting to do them, but it was just, I don't know why I've been like lacking, been behind on DSP videos, guys. But whatever, you know, it's not my fault. Nothing I could do. Okay, so let's all move on positively.
The biggest news of all, Larian Studios, the maker of Baldur's Gate 3, made a major announcement.
Whoa.
They have come out and said, we are not making DLC for Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh, yeah.
We're not even making Baldur's Gate 3.
I'll be honest, I kind of forgot why I picked this news segment, but this is also pretty funny, because this dude, when that news dropped, you could tell he was kind of like so excited. So excited. You know what? I kind of wanted to do a video about this as well. So, you know, it all comes full circle, I guess. You know what I mean?
In fact, we're never making a D&D game ever again. We've decided that we just want to do our own thing. What the? It's like a punch to the face.
Dude, see how like he reacted to this? I don't remember the news story. It was probably just, we're not going to do anything in the D&D stuff, because there's been a lot of fucked up stuff going on with the property. When that news broke, everyone was like, "Oh yeah, definitely, I see why, I get it," you know. And everyone was happy, because they weren't happy with how D&D was being handled. I remember there was another like scandal issue, whatever, that they were using AI art, which is kind of like, you know, you're hiring all these artists to make your successful franchise, and now you're gonna do AI. Like, okay, whatever. And that was another thing. I think there's more stuff than just that as well. That was a problem. So everyone was like, yeah, Larian Studios did the right move, kind of deal here.
Oh, what? You literally just.
I mean, that doesn't really mean that they're gonna. They didn't say they were done with the genre, but they also probably want to do other stuff too, like. For some reason, DSP is like, he loves the idea of typecasting game studios. Like, they can only make one thing and that's it. And if they try to venture out to do other stuff, it either better be good or they should never do it. Which is a very, like, stupid mindset to have, especially coming from DSP, Mr. Variety Man who has multiple channels. Like, come on.
The best game of the year. A game that other game devs are complaining about because they're jealous of you and what you make. They're upset that people may have expectations.
I love that he keeps saying that other developers are upset at Larian. Again, no one in this industry, except for maybe boomer CEOs or whatever the fuck, but I don't really think a lot of people in the industry are like cutthroat, competitive assholes to each other, you know? Like, I don't think that's the case. A lot of people give props to other developers, other artists, other whatever in the industry, because they're normal people and they understand, like, look, we're making stuff and we want people to buy it, whatever. The stuff that was going on around that time was like, look, they had all this time and budget into Baldur's Gate 3. They were able to make it work. Don't expect that the industry is going to follow suit, because there's a lot of moving pieces in game development. So there's a lot of things that they have to kind of balance and deal with. So I think it was, you know, I feel like maybe the day of that announcement, people were kind of like, oh my God, what a bunch of lazy people, whatever. But over time, I think people are going to look back at it and say, and understand what they were talking about. And think, okay, you know, it sucks. It's not like necessarily good news, but it's like, that's kind of how the industry is. You know, all these games have a huge budget, so of course it's going to be a lot harder to give the developer full reign on a project or having a game be so many other things when there's a lot of like moving pieces that go into game development. It's not like a very easy thing. Like we can talk about it all day. I mean, I can even go on about the yellow paint debacle. I have takes on that, but maybe someday. Someday.
that moving forward, all RPGs would have to live up to what you just made. And now you're deciding you just don't want to make the game, no DLC, no sequel, nothing.
Nothing.
Holy shit. Now, some people are surmising what this means is that they...
I was like, they don't want to do DLC, but if they made a complete game, why would they want to make DLC for a game that they consider complete? And well, maybe I'm wrong. For some reason, I felt like that people were saying that there was DLC, but maybe there isn't. I don't know, whatever. But even to make a sequel, like, again, Baldur's Gate 3 wasn't, or Baldur's Gate, I should say, isn't Larian's IP. They were brought in to make Baldur's Gate 3 because they made a deal with the company or whatever. I think, if I remember correctly, Divinity Original Sin 2 is kind of, they used that game to prove to D&D or Hasbro, whoever owns it, that they can make a game like that. And then they were able to make the game like that, and then they just want to do something else. So they can definitely do other stuff, but get a load of this.
They go back to, say, Divinity, which was the game they made before this, Divinity Original Sin 2. I'm going to be honest, if that's the case, I hope that it keeps the production values that they had in Baldur's Gate 3, because I played Divinity, and I got about 60 hours in, and I couldn't proceed. I was bored to tears, and so was everybody else.
Oh, man.
At least with Baldur's Gate 3, it had enough production value to make it feel like an awesome narrative experience with...
Look at this guy. He's talking about production values and pretty graphics and all this stuff, but it had bugs and glitches, whatever. But it's like, this dude, is he supposed to be a gamer? I remember this guy recently is talking about Alone in the Dark. Oh, well, it's like bland and this or that because that's the point, man. And now it's like, these games need to have a movie-like production. Dude, like, come on.
Cutscenes and everything, when Divinity didn't have any of that, right? So, hopefully,
man,
whatever they do next ends up being good. But the thing is, people were completely godsmacked by this. They were like, what? We were so hoping that because it did so well that you were going to make more because we loved seeing D&D come out this way. And now, I mean,
D&D come out this way?
They're fucked. First, they had a movie, right?
They're fucked.
What was it? Like Honor Among Thieves? The movie was absolutely outstanding, and apparently it tanked at the box office, and no one saw it. That movie is superb. If you didn't see
Oh my god, I'm tired of hearing, like, I'm gonna probably be a little toxic about this. I'll maybe not fully toxic, but I am so tired of people telling me this movie was actually good. It's like, well, I didn't like the cast. And nothing against them. It's just like, I just didn't, like, care. I don't know. It just did not look like a movie that was gonna make me just, like, sit in awe, like, I don't know, and I don't really have any desire to watch it, so it's kind of a nothing movie. But I'm tired of hearing these people talk like this about this movie, but whatever, it is what it is.
Among Thieves movie, I strongly recommend it. It's got an excellent cast, a well-written plot, and it takes fantasy elements and makes them fun for a modern audience. I can't believe so many people didn't see the movie. It's that good. And now here they go. Game of the Year is a D&D game. Oh, by the way, the game developer's dropping out and not making it anymore. So now it's like D&D is left holding their own bag. They have their IP, but who do you give it to next? Because you think anyone's going to live up to the expectations that now Larian has created for if they make a Baldur's Gate 4? They're kind of fucked.
Maybe they don't have to. Like, honestly, I feel like, see, this is the flaw in DSP's how he looks at games. Because if you listen to how he reviews games, he always compares it to either other games of the franchise, whatever, as a starting off point, whatever the fuck. And I think it's a really dumb system, honestly, because, it's oh my god, how do I describe this? I mean, I guess, so I'm recently rewatching Avatar: The Last Airbender and Legend of Korra. I can actually say, like, in comparison with that, I understand why people don't like Korra as much as Avatar, so I don't really blame people for, like, either dipping, whatever. But I do think that Korra has the unfortunate circumstance where people will just keep comparing it to Avatar and not really, like, look on it as its own thing. I think in terms of the universe, narrative, and all this stuff, it ties pretty well. I mean, I kind of am pretty lenient because obviously when they made Avatar, they weren't planning on making Korra during that development, and Avatar is a much more tighter story where they knew where they were gonna go. Korra, they only was brought in for 1 season initially. Then they were making 3 more seasons, so it kind of did whatever with that. Uh, and I think it did pretty good considering. But it's like it's its own kind of show that's doing something completely different. That's not at all trying to do what Avatar did. And for better or for worse, people just keep comparing it. I think that's kind of the flaw when you're looking at something and you just keep comparing it. And that's not. It's one of those things. It's not like I fully blame people for doing that, but it's something that like once you kind of like look at something with a different kind of perspective, you may have a different opinion of it. You know, that kind of thing. You know, initially I did not like Avatar book 1. I like book 2 and 3 way more, but this rewatch, I ended up liking the whole season altogether. Surprisingly, I wasn't expecting to, and I ended up liking the whole thing. But that's kind of where I stand with that. So they could do Baldur's Gate 4, and they don't have to live up to the expectations of 3. Just let Baldur's Gate 4 be its own game. That's kind of what I was trying to get at. Because, yeah, if you're going to keep comparing it to this, and it's not going to live up to it, is it really fair for Baldur's Gate 4? And it's like, you know, and maybe that's not, you know what I mean? Like, it's, they don't have to live up to that, but they, you know, sure, they could try to if they want to, but they don't want to try and they want to try something else. Let them do something else. I don't know. Do whatever. You know what I mean?
That kind of sucks for anyone who likes D&D and for anyone who spent an insane amount of effort trying to learn the lore of Baldur's Gate 3. Well, you probably just wasted your time because there ain't no.
And this is bullshit too, saying that, oh, if you try to learn the lore, it's a waste of time. Like, that's not how it works. If you like something, you're gonna want to learn the lore regardless. Like, you know, if Guilty Gear like stopped being made, let's say, I'd still kind of care about the lore of Guilty Gear because it's interesting. I like the games. I like the story. I like the characters. Like, you know, Justice is not in Guilty Gear anymore. But I'm still curious about Justice's lore from time to time. I vaguely remember that she's like Justice's Arya in some mix on like, you know, whatever. You know, it's kind of an Ava situation with Justice. And it's like, okay, that's kind of neat. And then like you have Jacko, Elfelt, and Ram, all kind of like versions of Arya, but in different ways. Jacko being the closest to Arya. Like, it's cool shit, cool lore stuff, but so far they have not announced a sequel to Guilty Gear, so does that mean that I'm wasting my time?
Baldur's Gate 4 from Larian, which means the next one will probably suck, and you probably wasted your time learning all that shit. It's sad, man. Because hey, listen, I'm one of them.
Look how happy he is. Look how happy he is to say it's a waste of time. Like, other stuff, when it's a waste of time, he gets mad and sad about it. But here's like, oh man, it's a waste of time, man. It's like he's laughing at people about this. This dude wanted to hate Baldur's Gate 3, and then he saw this news story and was like, I get to hate on it again. And I can say I'm a fan because I like the game. This dude is so fucking lame, man. He literally played it so that he could shit on it and then say, well, I played the game. And honestly, like, DSP has a knack for this. I think it's great for people to play a game and then they can still dislike it and they can say, hey, look, I played it, gave it a chance. But DSP is the guy that does that just to shit on it. Like, he's such a piece of shit about everything, and it just gets worse for him, man.
I'm almost 130 hours into my playthrough trying to finish it. I learned so much lore about D&D that I'll probably never use again ever in my whole lifetime. So wow, what a great.
No, this is also bullshit because he's playing this, and I remember distinctly. He said, oh, you know, I see this stuff in other games. Now I understand where it came from, man. Wow. So there you go. Like, I mean, come on, man. This dude is so stupid. Like, even Persona and SMT does similar stuff because a lot of their demons are from mythology. So it's like, oh, wow. Like, I don't know shit about other mythology other than Greek mythology. And seeing, like, Queen Mob, Dionysus is Greek, actually, so. Thor, and then there's who else? Isis. The most unfortunate name for a demon, but, you know, it predates it, okay? Sound good? You know, that kind of shit. Come on.
Investment of time that was, huh?
Huh? And it's all that he keeps saying, what a waste of time. He likes the game, but it's a waste of time.
Hold on one second. Okay, everybody, continuing on with the news. Our next story is pretty
You love these little pauses. They say, let's continue with the news. And then, oh my god, this is like a rat that got caught. Like the rat's in the kitchen, nibbling on some cheese, and then you walk in and the rat's like he's like, oh shit, the predator has entered the building.
interesting. It's about Destiny 2. And for those who don't know, because you don't follow Destiny 2, well, I don't blame you because a lot of people don't anymore. A lot of people have fallen off of this game. Still does have a pretty big community that follows it, though. All right. And a few days ago, they were doing this presentation over the internet on stage. They were on a stage presenting new content and stuff like that. And while they were doing this, I guess they were actually running Destiny 2, you know, the client on PC on stage.
Okay.
And so some people found out that you could troll them by sending them like Steam invites or something like that. Like, I guess they hadn't turned off the pop-ups for this. And they started sending them Steam invites with racist stuff, like the N-word and stuff like that.
Okay. Like the N-word.
Okay? So literally, they're trying to do a professional presentation about their upcoming content in Destiny 2, and they've got N-word messages popping up behind them, and they don't even realize that it's happening. Okay? So, obviously, this made headlines. People were like, you know, Bungie doesn't know what the hell they're doing. I can't believe that they would have this on their stream or whatever. You know, thousands of people tuning in, and they've got racist stuff all over.
This is kind of lame to say they didn't know what they're doing. Like, dude, you can't control people who join your server. Like, they can't just, you know, like, come on.
The stream. So, in an unprecedented move, Bungie has permanently banned the players who sent them those harmful notifications.
Okay.
So they, you know, I mean, as
this
stupid and immature
like, okay,
it is.
you know what? This is the news story. They did something, then they banned them. Wow, you're telling me that they did something about it? Okay. I think the first half of the news story was the more interesting part.
How did those people not realize that their names were going to be on those messages?
I love that he says this. Like, they fucking care. What if they don't care? What if they burner accounts? You know, like, come on.
Right?
Right?
And obviously, their name was going to be attached to it. So they went and they banned a whole ton of people based off of the troll messages they sent during the live stream. And I just find it funny because in modern day, I mean, this trolling shit, obviously people just do it now to get away with it and do whatever they can.
They do
it. People running on stage.
They do it to get away with it. What does that mean? They can get away with it, but they do it. And, like, okay.
At award shows that don't even belong there, right? I'm happy that they are taking action because at the very least it sets an example and a precedent.
Okay. But honestly, like, technically, right? Correct? If you say, like, a derogatory term, shouldn't that be a bannable offense? It's a bad word, and it's against TOS anyway. Like, okay, whatever.
And they just let it go, then basically people think, oh, then it's okay to just keep doing it, right? Oh, we'll just keep doing it over and over. That's fine then. They don't want that message. They want people to know, no, this is serious.
This is so stupid to say because, like, again, people have been saying the N-word and all this stuff online for years, and, like, you know, if they could make it against their TOS to say, hey, no derogatory terms, whatever, call them stupid instead, whatever the fuck, you know, whatever. And it's like, okay, fine, mate, put that in your TOS. That's all it is. Whatever. Okay.
You shouldn't be fucking with this kind of stuff. You know, this is a stream to thousands of people who are very...
Now, this is kind of... Okay, I'm going to be very, very fucking petty about DSP. Because, you know what? DSP deserves it. He deserves the pettiness of the statement, man. This guy's like, I understand that that racial terms is offensive and all this stuff. But he's more upset that people said the N-word on a stage show. But what about if they said it to someone else who happens to be black? What if they told a black man that they're about the N-word? Should that person be banned, Phil? Why did it take for them to be at a presentation for them to take action? You know, that kind of shit. And he's just like, yeah, this is the president. Like, it should have been a president before. Technically, if you think about it, because in a way, a racial slur can be seen as harassment, depending on how it's used, all that shit. But whatever, okay. But man, you say at a stage show, you cross the line, Buster.
Interested in the game, and the fact that you're deciding to act like this is not, it's not right. It's not allowed. It's really messed up. So I'm happy that they took action. I'm very happy that they've done something here to, at least show, hey, don't do this. You're going to get banned. But I mean, it's kind of silly. They're supposed to be a top AAA game dev, and they weren't smart enough to know that people could message them and do that on their professional stream to thousands of people all over the world about the future content. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, man. I don't know about Bungie. I've been saying for years that they fell off. Halo was their best.
Well,
stuff.
they did
Destiny
lay off a lot of
and it just
people.
keeps getting worse, and I don't know. I mean, from what I understand, a lot of like, I don't know, man. I don't know about Bungie. I've been saying for years that they fell off. Halo was their best stuff. Destiny has not been good, and it just keeps getting worse. And I don't know.
Those Halo's getting worse. Like, well, that's something.
People from back then already left the company. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, they left. They didn't get laid off or anything, correct?
A shell of what they used to be. I'm not surprised to hear that.
I mean, some people did leave, but there were also layoffs.
I mean, following along that same line, our next story regards Bethesda. Okay, and this story is in regards to Starfield. Wait till you hear this one. I'm gonna read a lot of this word for word. So just for the record, this is from a Games Radar story that was published 2 days ago. And this one absolutely blew me away. Okay, Are you ready for this one?
Get ready.
Get ready for this one.
Get ready.
Starfield lead says that the RPG's ending twist was a panic button idea to tie things together because the team was overbooked making everything else.
Now, if you know how games are made, like a normal person, you probably can understand what they're talking about. But DSP is DSP, and let's hear what he has to say. This is a great news segment. All his news segments, I say this all the time. I think everyone has come to the realization. All of these news segments are just him bitching about anything, and he doesn't try to understand. And the only time he praises something is if it made a lot of money, if it validates his opinion on something, or a game he wants to play is coming out, or whatever the fuck, that kind of shit. But when it's like, when someone gets laid off, it's like, this company sucks. They laid him off, man. It's like me in the helicopter job, and it's like, dude, like, people lost their jobs, and it's like, where's this gonna go in the game industry? It's kind of like alarming. You know what I mean? But this guy, man, this fucking guy just wants to complain and complain and complain and complain, just over and over. And then he mocks people. Like, they're saying, we're busy working with everything else. And he's like, wait, so let me get this right? And he mocks the statement. But it's like, we don't know why. We don't know why. As a viewer, you're watching to listen to the news, and you have to sit through this before you can understand why he's like this.
Second. So you're telling me that the brand new IP from Bethesda that was supposed to be the new flagship title that everyone was going to care about and love, right? This is going to be the new Elder Scrolls.
Dude, like, I despise every day how this dude talks about Starfield. He keeps hyping it up like, Starfield, the game that's supposed to change the world. You guys will love the game as much as this. Where the fuck did they say this? All Bethesda did when they revealed Starfield was like, guys, we got a new game coming out. Starfield. It's gonna be cool. And of course they're gonna, like, hype it up. It's a fucking company. But this dude, like, amplifies it so that when it fails, he gets to, like, dance on the grave. It's so obnoxious. It's so obnoxious. This dude does it to his own content. And then we were like, well, you said in the birthday bash, we were going to do Derek quiz, and you didn't do it. Isn't that over promising and under delivering, Philip? He fucking promised a quiz, didn't do it, and then the marathon sucked. We were supposed to love the marathon, but you're telling me that you did a lot of content during your birthday marathon? Huh?
This is going to be the new Fallout, okay? They didn't write the fucking ending. They literally were making the game and just flying by the seat of their pants and didn't know how it was going to end. I mean, new Star Wars trilogy much?
Oh my god.
Literally were making the
This
game
dude.
and just flying by the seat of their pants and didn't know how it was going to end. I mean, new Star Wars trilogy much?
My god, this little head wobble. But like, how does he know that's how it was done? What if they meant like they were doing all this stuff and then they were writing the story along that, and then like, okay, well, we need an ending, do this, that kind of shit. Like, he doesn't know the order of how the development went, but you could definitely believe they're probably overworked. Because guess what? People get crunched in fucking game development now. Come on, this dude talks about game crunch all the time, and then when stuff happens that's a product of it, he acts as if it never happened. Like, they don't crunch. Like, come on.
How stupid can you be to have your flagship title that's supposed to bring your company back to prominence after very well received games like Fallout 76 or Fallout 4, and the fact that you haven't had
Dude, this dude loved Fallout 4. He has a review giving it a 9 out of 10. He loved that game. And now he's like, oh yeah, that game was disappointing, man. Okay.
Elder Scrolls in over a decade, right? How do you not have an ending? Don't even make the game until you have a complete story, right? Write the story, finish the story, then make the game. Don't fucking write the story as you're making the game and then fuck up the ending. Now, spoiler alert, because obviously an article like this has to cover the ending. So if you have not beaten Starfield or watched someone beat Starfield and you wish to be like surprised at it, I don't recommend that you listen to the rest of what I'm going to tell you, but just listen to this, okay?
Go earmuff.
Speaking at the Game Developers Conference in San Francisco recently, as part of a larger talk reflecting on the challenges and lessons from Bethesda's latest lengthy dev cycle, Starfield lead quest designer Will Shen, who's since left Bethesda, said the ending was conceived out of necessity and urgency after the entire game reached a playable state and the lead developers noticed that it was lacking something. We were finally at a state in the project where we could play through the whole game, and it became very clear that we were missing the large final location that was going to tie the story together and have a satisfying action-filled payoff, Shen said. I was both implementing the main quest and leading the quest design team, so I had absolutely no time. The entire quest design team was already overbooked.
Wow.
If you're wondering exactly how an operation as complex and sophisticated as Bethesda Game Studios could essentially forget to add a proper ending until the last minute, well, according to Shen and former Fallout 76 lead level designer Daryl Bringer, who's also no longer at Bethesda,
Okay.
the sheer size of the 500-strong development team is partly to blame.
Wait, who's partly
Level designer Daryl Bringer, who's also no longer at Bethesda, the sheer size of the 500-strong development team is partly to blame.
Oh, okay.
It's more difficult than ever to know who does what or who you're supposed to be reporting to, Bringer said, with Shen adding that a large, spread-out team can sometimes lead to a silo effect in which every department is scrambling for resources and saying no to collaboration requests.
You know what's really funny about this? This dude always says, well, you should have like one person do this, one person do that, one person do this, one person. This dude loves having a big like studio and controlling people. That's what he always says. Every time he complains about a game, he's like, well, it's the director's fault that this is that way. They used to need this guy for that, this guy for this. And it's like, yeah, honestly, if you get more people, it's probably harder to work with. So maybe you should have done a smaller development size. Again, it's the same issue where companies over budget games to the point where they can't possibly take risks because they need to make an investment back. And it's like, then do smaller investments, do smaller budget games. That way, like, it's not a huge loss. Why dump like a huge amount into one game to the point where it can't possibly fail. And if it does, you're fucked, you know? Like that kind of shit.
According to Shen, this had the inadvertent consequence of favoring the department over the game itself. Every request now has to go through all of these producers because we need to check all the contingent work, Shen says. Asking for something as simple as a chair just wasn't even so simple. Do you need animations for that chair? Do you need sound effects for it? How much does it cost, and will it add to the schedule? Can it not fit because one of those teams just doesn't even have time to make it? Ultimately, Shen went to Starfield lead level designer Steve Cornett as a panic button, and Cornett came up with the idea that players would hop dimensions and revisit locations instead of Bethesda designing whole new locations for the finale. It's an efficient use of the game's world and a memorably offbeat spin on Bethesda's usual formula, even if it does arguably leave those few story threads hanging, but I guess that's dimension hopping for you.
Now we get a Forrest facial clean face palm.
So essentially, what is this?
Honestly, you know, when he does that, that's all he does it for. It's not even just to do the motion. It's so that he can clean his face. This dude ain't fooling me.
Saying it's very simple. All right, Bethesda has gotten too popular and grew too big, and literally became a bloated monster that can no longer make games, which explains why their last 3 games sucked. Right?
Yeah, maybe they should take these.
Literally. That's 100%.
You know what they could do? It's gonna blow people's mind. They could take that big studio of people and divide them up and have them each make their own game under the Bethesda umbrella, and then they could release them, and they'll have games coming out. Like, they don't need like that whole, they don't need like one team making one game. They can have like multiple people making multiple games. What about that?
Exactly what they are saying here. Okay.
Okay.
It's sad but true. Sometimes you grow too big for your own good. And many companies, this happens.
For his own good, man.
Usually, it's like a food company. Like, I think of like food franchise, like Starbucks or Subway, where they get so big, they overexpand, their business model becomes unmanageable, the quality goes down, and now the whole business tanks. And this has actually happened both with Starbucks and with Subway.
What happened to Starbucks?
With Bethesda,
whatever.
They made so many good games. You know, they made 3 or 4 great Elder Scrolls games. Fallout 3 was a huge success. They even let another company make a spin-off in New Vegas. That was a huge success. And they let it get to their heads, and they just absolutely overexpanded. And because of that, you have 500 people working on a video game, and at every given moment, if you need something done, you've got to go through so many hoops. You've got to go through so much paperwork, so much bullshit just to get something basic done. Nothing gets done anymore, right? I mean, I tell you, yeah, they probably went into it, right? They probably totally went into it saying things like, oh, this will be our biggest game ever. It's biggest scope, biggest this, biggest that. Don't worry, we're good enough that we'll figure it out on the fly. We'll let this game evolve as we make it, right? That's not how you do a story. You just don't. When you have a story, you need to have a begittle. You need a begittle. That's a good one.
My God.
A beginning, a middle, and an end. And you need to then maybe work out some details while you're working on it.
Whoa,
but you
no
need
way.
to know the story. It's called an outline. I can't imagine anyone trying to do anything narrative without actually having an outline.
But again, like, it's a video game. There's more like gears in the whole thing. Whatever. Okay.
Their narrative. It's just crazy to me. And
I mean, at least he's not saying they should just make a good game.
How many millions of dollars is this
Guys,
game?
they should just make a good game.
Huge for Starfield. And they didn't have the story done. It just baffles me. They didn't know how they were going to end it. So, it's just like, oh my God. Once you have your story set, then you can work on everything else, and you can expand or you can retract. You can do what you need to do
expand or retract
to make it work in the constraints and the budget and the resources and the personnel and whatever you have, the talent pool. But you need the story, or else you end up with the new Star Wars trilogy, which is exactly what happened with that. The first installment.
Well, the new Star Wars trilogy had a lot of other issues. Like, one being that they changed directors for each film, which was like the dumbest idea. Like, who thought? Why did they think that was gonna work? Whatever.
It's absolutely amazing, right?
I'm tired of hearing about
the
Star Wars.
The second installment floundered, and it felt like it was the end of the storyline. So why is there even a third movie? And then the third movie ends up being a bunch of bullshit because you don't need a trilogy anymore because you already ended your story in the second movie.
Did he even see it?
Sense.
How did whatever? Okay.
So, I mean, it's just awful. And how they didn't learn from stuff like that, you know? Like as you're making this game, you see that happen. You see all the critical panning of the end of the trilogy, and you're like, well, we can't do that. We have to do something better than that. And then they just fucking do it. It's like it's unfucking believable.
But
Like
they didn't change people
holy
during
shit, dude.
development though. Like,
Yikes.
come on. Yikes.
It's not hard to believe if you have 500 people working on a game and literally, oh, well, we need a chair made. Well, we got to contact this department and wait 4 days for a response. Then they got to contact the animations team, the audio team, this and that. And we all got to work on this. So it takes 4 months to get one chair for your game.
Okay. But then but what about games where they add stuff and then it just doesn't work properly and it crashes the game? Like, again, he doesn't understand how games work. Like, it's not just, okay, I want to make Cat in the Hat. All right, just put a cat in there, you're done. Like, okay.
Guess what? That's not how you work together on anything. I worked for a helicopter company.
What?
All right.
That's not how we're working together to talk to other people. Okay, let's hear.
To do anything at the helicopter company, obviously, I had to work with my management directly. I had to work with the shipping department in the back. I had to work and call outside facilities who repaired helicopter parts and work with them. But even then, like I could usually get stuff done within a day or two, especially if it was like a rush job for someone who needed something for a helicopter. Maybe it would take a couple days.
Yeah, but that's literally you're just moving parts around. And all this, like you're moving like physical parts, you're not creating anything. Creating is a lot harder because you have to make the thing. Like when you're making a character, you have to make sure that they're able to walk, what's their height, what's their model, try to keep the model in line with what it looks like. You have to do all this. There's a lot of moving parts because it's you have to like add sound effects to the character. You have to add the voice. You have to add the code. You have to like make sure it interacts with everything, every possible idea that you're gonna put into the game. There's far more things going on in game development than, hey, we need a helicopter part. Call this guy. Okay, then that guy will call this guy. Okay, then tell this guy it's coming this day.
I get it done. 4 months for a chair. You know what I'm saying? Like that doesn't work.
It's not comparable.
It's just a problem with these.
It's not a comparable
they've gotten too
thing.
big. They've gotten too convoluted. They don't even have like a set work path of how to get anything done. So everyone's just confused, and then the game sucks. Well, Bethesda, it's time to fix that. Seriously, like if this is the case, and if they're now working on the next Elder Scrolls, and they got 500 people working on the next Elder Scrolls, they got to fucking stop. Really, they just have to stop with the bullshit. Enough with the convoluted nonsense. Man. And you know what I really got to ask is, what happened to Todd Howard, right? Because if you actually look at
what happened to Todd Howard,
he's done some interviews and things over the years talking about his history, and he's like, yeah, so for the original Elder Scrolls game we made, we had this many people, and then we were able to expand for the next one and the next one. So he's like, the one manning the helm.
Whatever.
Why is he running the ship into the shoals, right? What is this guy doing?
What is he doing? What's up with that? What's up with Todd Howard today? Boom, ba-doo, boo, boo. Keep forgetting to add Seinfeld to my soundboard here.
And
maybe I do have it.
I just don't get it.
I do have it.
AAA game development is not what it used to be. You should know, oh man, Bethesda, whatever they pump out is going to be great. I can't wait for their next game. I don't even care what it is. Now it's like, oh, Bethesda. It's going to take them forever to have a new game. And when it comes out, it's probably going to suck. It's going to be way underperforming. It's going to, it's not going to live up to expectations. The ending, for the record, the ending of Starfield was atrociously bad. It was just one of the worst contrived endings I've ever heard.
All right.
It's a cop-out because basically it makes everything you've done in the game up to that point meaningless. It's, in essence, if you don't play Starfield, you've had exactly the same experience as if you've played Starfield. And that's a bad thing. They're morons. You can tell that ending wasn't tested with anyone. Because it's such a bad ending, it makes you feel pissed off that you spent any time playing the game.
Whatever. It's a multiverse ending.
It just kills me that like,
and that's it. Like, how does that mean
they have this system?
It's pointless.
And they had the.
And then people were telling the second playthrough adds a narrative.
At one point, and now they're just giving it away. Here, give all the credit. Larian surpasses them. CD Projekt Red did surpass them, and then had a big floundering with Cyberpunk. But they're probably going to get it back if they come out with a good game now. Where people are going to look to.
He's saying that because they're making Witcher. And it used to be loves Witcher because Cat loves Witcher. Okay.
other companies for their epic RPG experiences, and Bethesda's just going to be left in the dust. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, continuing on, there's one other big story to cover, all right?
Oh
And this one
boy.
is in regards to a little journalistic company
Oh
called
man.
Kotaku. Now, for those of you who don't know, Kotaku is a website
Fucking
that covers
Kotaku.
game news. Or do they?
Or do they?
Because they did at one point, and then in the last couple of years, Kotaku has flipped to become an incredibly ridiculous leftist-leaning journalistic site.
I'm gonna have the hot take here and just say I think Kotaku just wanted to generate clicks because that's how a lot of websites make their money. They want you to click on the article, and there are bad articles. Don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna don't fucking misunderstand me thinking that I'm defending Kotaku. But honestly, they just made bad articles, and that's it. But let's get a load of this.
Politicizes things in gaming, and also literally says some of the dumbest takes ever in gaming just for clickbait. Like they'll have articles that are just so dumb.
Like I just don't think it has anything to do with politics, in my opinion. I just think they just made bad articles. Like, you don't need to be a political guy to make a bad article. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
That you're like, this is a joke. This is like The Onion writing this article, right? This is a parody of an article. But then you look, no, it's actually real. It's really on their site. They actually published it as a story. Just some of the most ridiculous stuff ever. And a lot of people will say, like, they'll try to make an issue out of something, and then literally everyone else on the planet will read the article and be like, that's not an issue. Why did they even publish
I
this?
just love this when, like, the best example you can really have about Kotaku making bad articles is honestly the Persona 5 Super Smash Brothers situation, where they were convinced that the Beneath the Mask version that they played in Smash Brothers had the R word in it. And then people are like, no, that's not in the lyric. Like, look, and then they had to retract the article. So it's like that's like one key example. I mean, as I said, you don't need to be political to make dumb articles. Let's just pretend for a moment that politics don't exist. You can still make dumb articles. Come on,
joke. So what's ended up happening is they went from being kind of a respected journalistic website to, for over the last 2 years or so, just the running joke of the internet. Like everyone says, oh, Kotaku again, another fucking stupid, overly left-leaning article complaining about something, politicizing something.
But you know what? Honestly, like, I could make the same points about other stuff, about how gamers are complaining about this or that. Oh, gamers are complaining about Aloy and how she looks in Horizon. Oh, people are complaining about God of War having Atreus, blah, 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 blah. I mean, it's just, again, you could just make a dumb article and then have it be a dumb article. And sure, you can criticize what they're complaining about, but everyone has an opinion on something. Like, I just think, the discourse about Kotaku was really tiring, and I'm just like, and I got into one debate on Twitter about it. I was like, you're not really listening to what I'm saying, and I just kind of walked away because I was saying, like, because the whole crux of it was, what they're aiming to do now with Kotaku could possibly be a bad decision. I was like, this is probably not going to work out for the journalists, and they're probably going to leave. And I'm like, well, you know what, Theo? Like, listen, okay. Oh my god, I forgot the point. I got so worked up, it escaped me. It's fucking bullshit. This is what happens when you listen to Phil. I'll probably remember later on this stupid fucking
read their shit. It's exactly what it is. It's like a turd
video
on a web page. Like there's no reason to ever go there.
Oh yeah, okay? I was saying how it's overworking them to make like all these playthroughs and guides. That's it. They were given a 50 guide deadline kind of thing. I was like, I don't think this is gonna work out, and it's gonna lead to probably people leaving the company. And I think that's what they're probably aiming to do, is getting people to leave the company because they're bleeding money, man. So they just want to get people to leave, in my opinion. Whatever. So that was my statement. It's like, I think this is kind of fucked up. It's like, well, you know what? They made political stuff, so fuck them. And it's like, how do you know everyone in that company is bad? Like, sure you could tell me, oh, look at this guy who made this article. He's an idiot. Look how dumb he is. Whatever. But what about the people who you don't see who make articles that are being affected by these changes? You know, like it's just one of those things. That's the best way I could put it, man. You know what I mean?
What ended up happening is they tanked. This last 2 years, all of their attention has gone away, and everyone's just constantly making fun of them. So all their traffic on their site has tanked. They're not making as much money as they used to on ad revenue and things like that, which they need to survive. So here's what happened, okay? The management, meaning the people who own Kotaku, came down on them this week and said, what you're doing isn't working. Everyone hates you. You've got to now become a gaming website again. So starting this week,
I love that he frames the chief guy as the coolest guy. That's like, okay, guys, enough of this. Let's transition to this. And instead, what if that guy was an asshole and was like, you know, fuck, we're gonna change anyway. You know, whatever. Like, how do we know for a fact that they changed because the articles were bad? And I'm gonna devil's advocate here. What if everyone in that company believed in the articles that they put out? Even the head, the boss man, was like, yeah, these articles are cool, whatever. But then he's like, you know what? But we need to get the money, and everyone's doing guides. Let's chase that dragon for a bit. I mean, you know, like he's speaking for these faceless people, and it's like that's why I try to be a little bit like hesitant, you know, speaking for other people in the industry. But it's like, how does he know for a fact that that's why they're changing the guides? What if they were going to do it anyway? Because that's what everyone's doing. IGN is doing guides. All people are trying to get that because they know people play games and they want to find a guide sometimes. Like that's where the money is, because there's no opinion piece that goes into making guides. You don't have to try to placate anyone. You could just make a guide and there you go. And honestly, I don't think that's going to help Kotaku, honestly, because it's a flooded market as it is. But whatever, okay.
you have to pump out 50 game guides. Yes, they actually made an edict. You have to make 50 game guides in 1 week.
In 1 week? Okay, so that's what the guy says. So that person that was arguing on Twitter is even dumber, because he was like, how do you know how long they're going to do it? According to Phil, and he's an honest man, he said a week. I don't think you could do a game in like 50 games in a week. That's kind of insane. Insane to do. Like, come on, man.
Those on your site to draw traffic.
And then you're like, oh, but it's making video games. Look at YouTubers. Yeah, but these YouTubers don't have deadlines. They're just playing the game. Like, that's honestly the problem I had. Like, that's why I was like, yeah, this news. I see why a lot of people who worked in Kotaku weren't happy, because once you give that deadline is, in my opinion, is ludicrous to think you could do 50 games in a week. Like, I don't believe that's gonna happen unless you don't want any quality in your fucking guides. I don't think there's gonna be anything. Like, I just think that's kind of insane. Does he think that these games are like 10-hour games? Like, maybe 10 hours, maybe you could do that in a week, but you know what I mean? Come on.
Site that's related to actual games. Because what you're doing isn't working. It's not gaming related. It's trash. And we need people to actually come to the site now. Immediately, the head editor.
But look how fair this is. You know, I'm bringing up good points. In my opinion, because I do think, like, you know, if you're gonna give a deadline to make a certain amount of guides, it should be at least a little bit reasonable, because a guide entails that you're gonna put something that's 100% in the game. Like, you're 100%ing a game to get that. Now, of course, you could argue, well, they could get a game early, but again, they're saying doing this within a week. Like, when do they get these games, and what if they don't get the game early and they have to do it in a week? Like, it's still a unsustainable model, and especially the people who joined at Kotaku because they wanted to make articles. Again, like, a lot of people go to these clown articles of Kotaku and say, oh, see, they get what they deserve, whatever. And that, you know, whatever. I'm not gonna tell you that that's right or wrong to think. I just think, you know, just the notion of this change, I kind of don't think that we should be jumping up and down for this change, because it's going to have a ripple effect to other websites, and it's going to affect people who actually care about their job, you know? Like, it's just, it's not a very good precedent that's gonna happen. I don't think this is gonna be sustainable, and as I said, I think this is just them trying to get people to leave the company. It's gonna be a way for them to get an excuse to lay people off.
What's her name?
We gotta find her
Kotaku
name.
editor-in-chief Jen Glennon resigned immediately, saying,
Okay.
"Oh, I don't like this management team's new strategy." Okay? Now, there's basically two different...
No, you know what? I'm gonna be even more mean to Phil about this. So, like, okay, imagine you go to a sandwich shop and you work there. You're making sandwiches. You love making sandwiches at a sandwich shop. Then the boss comes down and says, "You know what? We're not selling enough sandwiches. We're gonna become a Chinese food store." You didn't apply for the job to make Chinese food. You want to make sandwiches. So, of course, you're gonna leave. But let's hear DSP not say that and say that these people who are leaving are a bunch of idiots. And what a coincidence that the editor that left is a woman, because obviously DSP might be a true ally moment. You know what I mean?
schools of thought on this. Some people are basically saying that this is awful, and here's why. Here's one take. This is from a Nathan Grayson. He says,
Nathan
Geo
Grayson.
Media, that's the name of the company that owns Kotaku, is effectively forcing Kotaku to pivot away from news. Lie, they weren't covering news, and demanding...
This is bullshit. I'm sorry, but you could say, "Oh, I don't agree with this news source, and it's not news, whatever." You know, that's fine. But if you're working for Kotaku or whatever, yeah, they're making news. They're just making dumb news or whatever, but it's still news. And you know, ironically, coming from this fucker, he has covered Kotaku news before. Whatever. Okay.
its staff of
And
seven...
you know what? Okay, you know what? We're gonna even be even more fucking funny about this. DSP should actually be more sympathetic or empathetic, whatever, towards Kotaku. Think about it. Everyone clowns on Kotaku. Kotaku's going down on the shitter, and no one's taking them seriously. DSP, no one's taking him seriously. Everyone's clowning on the guy. And he wants us to take him seriously. Wow.
writers will now churn out an impossible number of guides per week, effectively forcing Kotaku to pivot away from news. Lie, they weren't covering news, and demanding that its staff of 7 writers will now churn out an impossible...
7 writers! 7!
number of guides
Whatever.
per week. That's not what writers signed up for, and not why people visit Kotaku in the first place. This is straight up stupid and cruel. Okay?
Now, you damn well know for a fucking fact, that if this was any other company, these people like, "Oh, these poor people, I can't believe they're this is cruel." But since it's Kotaku and everyone clowns at Kotaku, he is not gonna give them that benefit of the doubt. And it's like, this is why I kind of get a little tired with people like DSP who are just so... who just go along with hate bandwagons. Like, if you don't like someone or if you don't like what they're putting out, that's fine. But again, I'm only criticizing DSP because he's a singular person. I'm not hating on Cat because I hate DSP. I dislike Cat because of what Cat does. You know, I separate the two. But when it's a company and I don't like the company, I do kind of feel bad for the people who work for the company. And if I don't like some of the articles, you know, whatever. But there's other people who work there, and these changes affect other people, not just the people who I may or may not like. Ugh.
And here's what one of the employees actually said on Twitter. You know what? Fuck it. Here's a small cup of tea. Management here doesn't even care about the quality of the guides we make. They want us to aggregate them from other sites like a literal content mill, and went on to basically said, we're just going to use AI to do it. We're not even going to do it ourselves. We're not going to work. We're going to go to AI and we're going to tell AI, make an aggregate review, and we're just going to put it on the site.
Yeah, so
literally, an employee at Kotaku posted on Twitter saying, I'm just going to plagiarize. And they said this publicly. I want you to think.
But listen to what the quote
basically
was.
Said, we're just going to use AI to do it. Management here doesn't even care about the quality of the guides we make.
They don't care about the quality of the guides that they make.
to aggregate them from
They want us to aggregate them
other sites,
from other sites.
like a literal content mill, and
Like a
went on to
content
basically
mill.
said, we're just going to use AI to do it. We're not even going to do it ourselves.
Like-
We're not going to work.
Did he just really read that and not comprehend what he just read? He just said that the company doesn't give a fuck, and they told them to aggregate their guides from other places. I mean, come on.
We're going to go to AI, and we're going to tell AI, make an aggregate review, and we're just going to put it on the site. So literally, an employee at Kotaku posted on Twitter saying, I'm just going to plagiarize. And they said this publicly. I want you to think about this. This is supposed to be a major journalistic website.
But they're pivoting away from news, DSP. So they're not. So that's irrelevant already, since they're wanting to make guides now. Did he really not comprehend what he just fucking read?
People go to for game news and trust them for true game news, outright admitting, I'm just going to plagiarize my work from here on out. They publicly said it. Anyway, I get the feeling this is it. I really believe what's happened is, here's the deal. At one point, Kotaku was a legit website about games. It was. I remember years ago, there were some good articles over there, but every once in a while, you get the oddball article that was definitely weird and political and leftist leaning, and you'd kind of like, all right, it's one every 20.
Oh
so,
my
all right,
God.
we'll let it pass
This
or
is
whatever.
So
But then all of a sudden,
because
they changed.
I just question DSPs. You know, I'm just gonna focus on DSP for this. I kind of want to see what DSP means by political. What are these articles that made him say, "Oh, this is a little political"? Because, you know, whatever. Okay.
First, and became just a 100% schlock site. And as they
Schlock
became more
site.
and more schlocky, people just made them the running joke of games journalism. Oh, well, it's Kotaku's take, you know, here we go again, right? I don't know how they thought they were going to survive doing this. I almost feel like they thought they were like the rebels of gaming journalism, but they never bothered to ask if anyone wanted that
Oh my
content. And the
God.
answer is
Dude,
no one does. Like,
What if they just wanted to make these articles because they believed in what they wrote? I mean, honestly, people who wrote those articles, stupid or not, whatever, they were made by people who wanted to write those articles, that wanted to tell who wanted to report stuff. I mean, that's kind of the bottom line of it, and that's all it is. And you know, like, if I look into it, if I really gave a fuck, maybe I could find an article that I may agree with. Whatever. But that doesn't really mean that we must condemn an entire site because other people didn't like it either. I mean, it's, again, he's writing this off thinking that it's this or that, but it's like, these are just people who just want to write these articles and that's what they wrote, and now they're being told to make guides. What do you think is going to happen? These people who are leaving the company, it makes sense why they're leaving the company, because they didn't want to make guides, they wanted them to make articles. And they could just get another job, theoretically. They could just go to IGN or GameSpot, whatever the fuck.
literally, even leftist-leaning people don't want to read Kotaku articles. You know what I mean? Like, no one's looking for this baity content. That's really what it is. It's always baiting a reaction, baiting some kind of a response so that they can get some more attention.
Can you focus on the
hopefully
camera?
bring some
Like,
more
dude,
clicks, some
you're
more ad revenue
streaming.
to their
This
site.
dude says he's such a professional and he's always distracted, always doing something else. Mr. Professional over here. And I remember this guy, I think he dogged on a lot of people who dared to do something else as they streamed. And look at him now, he's playing with his controllers.
And I don't know how long they thought they were going to last doing that. And I just find it hilarious that, like, the editor, like, immediately quits when told, you got to do gaming content now. It's like,
He finds it hilarious that the editor who applied for a job to work on articles left when the company decided we're not doing that anymore and we're gonna do game guides. Wow, I'm very surprised. Who would have thought that the person who wanted to work on articles left when the company stopped making articles? Wow, it's almost like this person didn't want to do something that they didn't sign on for. And this fucker is saying like, oh yeah, she didn't care about games, so she left. But dude, they're not making articles anymore. And it's so annoying coming from this guy, specifically this guy, who you know for a fact, if this was anyone else, he would side with that editor. But since this editor happened to be a Kotaku editor or whatever, let's dog on this person. Oh, now they're making game content, but it's not the guides. They didn't join Kotaku to write guides, dumbass.
The old journalistic integrity. No. It's a gaming website. It always was.
No! Kotaku was making articles about video games for years! Years, dumbass! It was gaming news, so it focused on gaming and news. Now it's shifting to focus on guides. Hey, guess what the editor didn't want to do? Stupid!
That's the inception of the site, was that it was going to be a gaming website. So if you took a job at a gaming website and you refused to actually write articles about the game,
this dude is so stupid, and it's completely unfair. This dude has no concept of what he reads, what's going on, how does this affect other people. What was Kotaku? He tells us what Kotaku is, but clearly he doesn't know what the fuck it is, since he thinks that it's ridiculous that the editor didn't want to stick on to a company that's not doing articles anymore. Oh my god.
Out there, but instead all you did was make political schlock and no one likes it. How did you think this was going to proceed? Like, did you not understand that there's like cause and effect in life? Like, you don't make content people want, people move away from your site, it's not making money anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like,
now and then this guy, this motherfucker, is like, I don't do stuff for money, man. People should not do stuff for the paycheck. Too many people grab that bag. Grab that bag. And then this editor's like, I'm not for the money. I don't want to get that bag, so I'm gonna leave because I didn't want to do game guides. And he's like mocking her for not getting the bag. So now people should get the bag and do stuff for money. But we also should not do stuff for money because that's bad. But you should do stuff to get money. Wow, Phil, that's a very good moral compass you got. You have to go in constant 180s, I guess. It's constant.
How did you think you would continue to your employment? You have to make money to get paid. And it's like they don't understand how business works. Maybe it's true. Maybe the people who write for Kotaku are these idiotic morons who went to these fucking stupid universities.
Oh my god.
They just get by.
Yes, they all go to Ivy League. Yes, Kotaku, the army of Ivy Leaguers. Yeah, Phil, you cracked it. This is a gaming news? This is gaming news. This is worse gaming news than fucking Kotaku. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna like plant my flag on that.
Bare minimum, probably got C's and D's in their fucking classes, but still passed, and their rich mommies and daddies paid their way through the college, and now they think just because they have a degree, they're entitled to a job, so they think they're just gonna jump into some fucking cushy
oh my
job
god,
where they can just fuck around and do whatever.
And then he's mocking people who get a job now? So they should all be homeless and suffer. Wow, this guy is so fucking cool. But then he's like, oh, these poor people get laid off. Like, fuck this guy. You know, fuck this guy so much, man. This guy sucks.
Want and not actually do any work, and somehow magically.
And he's so negative, but guys, he's a positive guy. But he's insinuating all this stuff out of people he doesn't even know. He doesn't know these people, and he gets so butthurt about people saying, you know what, Phil should be on the streets, man. And he's like, these people, they want to end me. They want to kill me. Actual quote. And he's sitting there saying that these people don't deserve a job because they made articles that made him cry. Oh my god, come on, grow up.
The rest of their life, money's just going to keep falling into their laps. That's not how life works. I hate to say it, that seems like modern America seems to think that. That's not how life works.
Oh my
okay?
god.
A lot of times in life, you gotta bust your...
Yeah, say this to him when he complains about anything. He complains about so many things. Oh, YouTube didn't upload the video properly. I can't edit my videos. I can't mute the mic. Oh, I can't do this. I can't be in the editing room and do overtime. I can't do that. Oh, I can't do reviews. I don't have time to do this. I don't have time. I only stream 6 days a week. Blah, 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 blah. But this dude is telling other people that they need to bust their ass. They need to grab that bag and do all this stuff and just do stuff for money. Do stuff for money. But you tell him to do something for money, that's not how life works, dumbass. I don't care about the money. Fuck this guy's double standards bullshit. And this guy wants us to take his news segment so seriously. This guy is a piece of shit.
You actually have to work hard. You actually have to do things you don't like to earn a living. I know.
Very fucking rich from this guy. You have to do something you don't like. Okay, so go back to Twitch. You don't like Twitch, but it might get you more money, Phil. Go do that. Oh, you don't like doing sponsorships? That gives you money, Phil. Do that. Why does he do that? Because he doesn't like it? But the editor doesn't want to do guides, but she should make guides because she doesn't want to? Oh, okay. This dude is such a piece of shit, and he wants us to give a fuck about him.
Because I did it for most of my life until I became a YouTuber, and now I got lucky enough.
Oh my god, fuck you. Fuck you. Oh my god, let's listen to this again.
You gotta bust your ass. You actually have to work hard. You actually have to do things you don't like to earn a living. I know, because I did it for most of my life.
Most of his life until he doesn't have to anymore. This piece of shit unironically, unknowingly admitted that he doesn't record anymore. I'm gonna be negative, spin it negatively, because this guy is a piece of shit. He deserves every crumb of bullshit that gets thrown at him. This guy sucks.
Until I became a YouTuber, and now I got lucky enough.
And I got lucky enough
to do what I love for a job.
To do what I love for a job. And now work hard? He worked hard and did stuff he didn't like for years until he did this. And now, when you tell him, hey Phil, why do you do this one thing you don't like to do? No! I don't want to do it! I don't want to get that bag! This guy is such a piece of shit. He tells everyone else to eat shit, basically, but when you tell him to eat shit, I'm above that. No, you're not, bitch. You're not above that. You're in the same, like, shit pile as everyone else. Go roll in the mud.
The rest of everyone else has to bust their fucking asses. I guess these people just grew up, pampered, probably spoiled.
Oh my god, and he's like, this dude, man, this dude can go fucking eat shit.
Oh, I'm the lead editor. I'm angry now because we have to make game content again. Well, then fuck yourself.
Fuck yourself. They joined a company to make articles, not game guides, dumbass. So of course she's gonna leave because this is not what she signed on for. She even said that in her fucking, like, statement. And he's like, well, it's a gaming site. But it was done to make gaming news. And this is the same guy that has that DSPN for gaming news, but he won't report any other news. But this is gaming, though, so shouldn't it be more than just talking about gaming news? He should do game guides in DSPN. That's gonna be the next thing, and then he's gonna leave and be like, oh, the Jasper telling me that I have to make game guides in DSPN. I'm not doing that, so I'm gonna cancel DSPN. Eat shit, Jasper.
Good job. Good luck getting another job. Because no one in any journal in integrity is something. Oh my god, dude! And if you don't want to have any integrity, and you're putting out junk after junk after junk, who's gonna hire you again? Right? I certainly hope that
dude is such
maybe
a
you're gonna
piece of shit.
Go work at a florist.
He really thinks that these people who run these articles are like fucking millionaires. I hate to break it to Phil, but these people are not millionaires. They're not like they're not Bobby Kotick, Phil. They're not millionaires. They're living in mansions. I know you want to believe that they are, but they're not.
Or go work at a restaurant, serving tables or something. Because no one's going to want you
and then
in the
he lost other professions
world again after this job, the way that you've behaved. And
how does he know that person's behind this other stuff? Again, he's making these assumptions about someone he doesn't even know. He doesn't even read Kotaku. Let's believe that. He doesn't even know what they fucking talked about. Like, come on, man.
These people, can you imagine making that tweet on Twitter? I'm so upset that they want us to make these guides. I'm literally going to use AI, and just admitting publicly you're going to plagiarize your work from now on.
By the way, he uses AI. He is in no condition or position to say that. And he has fucking people editing his videos for free. And this dude has the gall to say shit like this. Like, fuck off. Shut up. Don't talk about these fucking news stories anymore. These news stories that he reports make him look so bad as a fucking person, just as a person. As a human being, it makes him look bad. Like, no one else can make him look as bad as Phil Burnell.
That's the people who work there. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, wow. But anyway, Kotaku's falling apart.
And he says that it's hard, inflation, blah, 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 blah. He complains about Cat's job all the time. And he's like, yeah, fuck these people. Like, fuck off. You know, I hope Kat gets overworked at her retail job, right? Would that be fun? Fuck this guy, man. Come on.
And to say,
and you know what, honestly, I'm gonna double back and say, look, I feel bad for Kat in the sense that she works at retail, so she has to deal with a lot of dumb people, or just people who are just, you know, whatever at retail. And then she has to come home to this. She comes home to this. Like, that is like hell. Honestly, I would not wish this on anyone. You know, if she still works at Target, wherever she works, they should give her a raise and all this because she has to come home to this. It's like she never gets off work. She comes home to work more. It's awful. Awful.
Most of the internet isn't happy about it would be a gross misstatement. People are basically going crazy about how they're happy about this. Now, here's the thing. I'm not happy about people losing their jobs.
Fuck off. Fuck off. He goes on this huge rant and say, yeah, go serve tables at a restaurant. Yeah, fuck you stupid people. Oh, they blah, blah, blah. Mocks all these people and says, I feel bad that they lose their jobs. Go fucking eat shit and drown in it.
I wish that what could have happened was there would have been more of a level-headed discussion about this. It sounds like there was just a giant edict and it was change. Now you're being forced to tough shit.
He literally, he gave a fucking grin when that edict was, when he was talking about the fucking edict. He was like, yeah, now you gotta be kind. It's a gaming center, man. And now he's running it back. Fuck off. This is so fake. And this is DSPN. This is gaming news. The most fake fuck is going on and on about all this shit. And then he's like, oh, well, these poor people, oh, there should be a level-headed position. Fuck off.
And if you don't like it, quit. And that's exactly what the lead editor did, right?
Yeah, and then they shouldn't get a job, right? They shouldn't get a job and they should bust tables at a restaurant, correct? This dude is such a piece of shit to say this shit. And then to say, well, I feel so bad for them. You know, say what you about Kotaku, at least they were consistent in the articles they put out. And at least the narrative or the tone in the story was consistent from start to finish. This guy, it's so schizophrenic and nonsensical. He went from shitting on this person, saying that they deserve to bust tables, to, I don't think that they should have lost their jobs, man. Oh, these poor people. Fuck off. This is the worst kind of news you could report, and how the worst way to do it. The worst way to do it.
My question is, and you always got to ask these questions.
And it's more maddening. This dude acts as if he's such an adult and a mature person. This is not like a mature way to handle this news when people are losing their jobs. They're forced to transition to a different position they didn't want to do, etc., etc. Like, you could have a more reasonable take about this, but DSP just, it kind of pissed me off a little bit more than I thought it would, because it's so mind-numbing to hear this guy. This guy is so fake, and he's two-faced. He wants everyone in the world to feel so bad for him, but when something bad happens to someone else, they have to pray to God. They're not part of a hate group on fucking Twitter or whatever, correct? Like, come on. And this dude cries so much that people have a hate mob against him. But he joins the hate mob against Kotaku. For better or for worse. Again, I'm not going to tell you that how to think about Kotaku or whatever. But you can sit there and say, I don't like their articles, but it sucks that these people are forced to do other stuff they don't want to do or whatever the fuck. Like, that's a reasonable take. But this guy went clown mode negative towards this person to then say, oh, these poor people. That's awful way to fucking break the news. Like, come on.
Get that far, right?
It's like saying, yeah, I hope Phil goes bankrupt and he's on the streets and he lives in a cardboard box. Oh, it's so bad he's on the streets, guys. I feel so bad for him. Like, Theo, a second ago you said that your happy's in a cardboard box. It's like you realized that what you said was insane, and then you wanted to kind of double back. Like, I don't give a fuck. You already done the damage. That's why you don't do shit like that, Phil. If you want to get people to like give a fuck about your fucking fake ass news shit, you can't do shit like this.
How did it get to that point where the site was allowed to go that far off the rails? It was supposed to be games journalism, and instead it became political. How did you let the site do that? Who was manning the ship? Who was running it? And who took this long?
But okay, another devil's advocate moment. Because a lot, like, again, Diesel's not really explaining what he means by political. So I'm just going to assume that when someone brings up that a game might be misogynistic or they don't like how a character looks in the game, whatever. Let's just think like that. So what if someone wants to make an article explaining that, hey, I think this is kind of fucked up that I played this amount of games and these characters are all written almost identically and they all kind of don't give enough development for them, and it kind of seems that it's a very misogynistic thing or whatever. So they want to make that story because they want to talk about it. That's something that they want to discuss in their little article. So should they not be allowed to do that because someone may say that's political? Like, where is the gauge of what's political, what's not political, what's okay, what's not okay? But then it's like, well, then that becomes, what can and can't they say? See, this is the issue with some of these talking points, and it's like, you know, again, the Persona 5 song "Beneath the Mask" has a R slur in it, and that's Super Smash Brothers. That's like a dumb article because factually the song doesn't have that in the lyric. That's a good point to say that's not a good article. But to say like, okay, in Persona 4, Yosuke and Teddy say a lot of problematic shit, and they kind of like sexually harass the female cast. Like, you can back that up and say, and like go through moments where you think that's a little too much or whatever, and you can disagree or agree with it all you want, whatever. But that's still a discourse. But who's to say that they can't report that? Like, that could be someone's genuine opinion that they want to make a story about, because it could be something that they realize that's in a lot of like popular media that they want to discuss and have a open forum for. Shouldn't they have the right to discuss that? But again, it's like, well, it's on the company's site and all this stuff, but it's like, it's all gaming related, and it's about how these kids are in the game that they played and that they care about, whatever. Like, you could kind of go down that rabbit hole of discourse, and you could think whatever about it. So I don't think it's necessarily fair to say, well, they got too political and all this stuff. I think that's why I think it's like, you know, they put out a lot of bad articles. I think that's what led to them being not credible, or just kind of not giving stuff a chance. Like, there was an era of reviews marking Japanese games down for being weird and all this stuff, which is and it was very xenophobic. A lot of people said this is kind of xenophobic and what you're kind of marking down in a game when it's an overall good game overall. Like, there's more to this conversation you can have. Like, come on, man. Think about that.
To tell them that this was the wrong thing to do. Because it wasn't like, oh, there's one or two articles. It was like every piece of junk they put out was like this for about 2 years. So who made that decision? Who let them do that? That's someone's problem, right? And then to just say, well, the people who work here, right? The 7 full-time writers. I think they have some part-time too, but there's 7 full-time writers. Now you just have to change everything you do to something you don't want to do. You know? That's shitty. I've been there. I was
and
at a
now
job
it's shitty.
where
Oh my
I was hired to
god!
do one thing, and within a year they
See
decided
what
they
I
didn't
mean?
want that to exist
He
anymore. So they tried to
literally
get me to do
like
something else
danced
instead,
and like did
and I
a
didn't want to do it,
and shit
and I fought
and jumped
against
up
it,
and down
and
for
then
it,
eventually
and now
they
he's
got rid
going,
of
I feel
it,
sorry
you
for
know?
them. Like, you really want me to
That's fucked up.
care about what you
But at the
think?
same time, when you're making some of the most toxic content on the internet and you think you just get away with it, and again, you're not really working, you're just fucking around. I mean, how long did you think that was going to last? I don't get it. I just,
Oh
they
my god!
literally said,
What?
but they're a top.
Oh my god! YouTube is giving me a lot of problems today. Why is it doing this? Oh my god! Why is YouTube doing this now? I did not have this problem for years, and now it's suddenly being a problem.
Also no longer at Bethesda. The
Oh
sheer
my
size
god,
of
we're
the
this far
500
back?
strong development team is partly to blame.
Oh my god.
It's more
No
difficult than
way.
ever to know who does what,
I used the pause feature. So hopefully now we can watch this again. I think I found roughly where it fucked up. So here we
You
go.
think you just get away with it? And
I
again,
don't know
you're not
why
really
it's
working. You're just
doing
fucking
this.
around. I mean, how long
Why
do
is
you
it
think
doing
that was
this to
going to
me?
last?
Come here.
I don't get it. I just they literally said, but they're a top gaming news site. No, they're not. They weren't even making gaming news. They weren't making gaming news content. They were always politicizing their shit for clickbait. It was stupid as shit. Okay. Anyway,
Okay.
that's the news for today. I mean, that was huge, right? That was like over a half an hour.
All right, that's news segment number 1. Let's do news segment number 2. Hopefully this. Oh God. Okay. Okay, good.
Level 1 podcast. It's time for DSP news, and I think it's time for me to change the logo a bit. There we go. It hasn't been red in a very, very long. That looks almost pinkish.
Maybe I should get rid of. Maybe it's
Right?
the cache. Maybe
Hold
the
on.
cache is giving me problems.
I want to make it like red.
Whatever.
Is that red? That's red, right?
Okay, cool.
Good enough. Okay. It's time for some gaming news. Let's cover it. And by the way, as you guys know, shout outs will be coming at the end of the show. So thanks for being patient. Thank you, Jared. He upped his membership there, and I'll give him a shout out in a bit. We have a couple news stories to cover today. First of all, prepare to laugh because, ladies and gentlemen,
Prepare to laugh.
Skull and Bones, the first ever quadruple A game from Ubisoft, according to CEO Yves Guillemot, is currently being
What
sold
is the
for
Maka's
$40.
name?
The game has only been out for 1 month and has dropped.
Okay, we're just
sold. And
okay. I don't care about Skull and Bones.
no one has bought, played.
Wow, it fucking
When they
dropped
said,
in
"Can
price.
you justify the $70 price?" Cross-platform developers made the game wanted to do to begin with, and you told us not to. So now, outside of their game dev studio, saying release the game. It's
We're talking about Rayman. I don't give a
and they
fuck.
suck. This guy should not be in charge. For it, just saying, it looks terrible. But there you go.
There you go.
Our second news story of the day: hands-on previews of the new upcoming game Judus from Ken Levin are finally hitting the internet.
Is it
And if you don't know
Levine?
who Ken Levin is, I
Whatever.
don't blame you. It's been a long time since we heard from him. He is the person in charge of BioShock. And I don't mean BioShock
Wow.
2. I mean BioShock 1 and Infinite, the two games that connected and then had cool DLC to have this alternate universe multiverse plotline. That's right. The multiverse was a thing in video games before it was in the Marvel universe.
Oh my god.
Or I should say the MCU, correct?
Dude, come on.
So, very interesting.
Multiverse has been around for
here's
longer
what
than
we know
BioShock as well. It's
about
stupid.
Judus. It's BioShock in space. It has
So
a
he-
non-linear story structure.
I
meaning you
can't
can
get
play the
over
game
it.
in different
I
orders.
can't get over it. He closed an entire studio to just make BioShock. The studio that made BioShock, let's close it, and I'm gonna open another one and make BioShock again.
And it's all fine. It's up to your own decisions.
Ah,
The main character has
goddamn.
memory loss, and you're trying to regain your memory over the course of the game. 3 major side characters are in the game. One is called Tom and voiced by Troy Baker. And before we all make a rude comment,
This dude, Troy Baker is getting Kojima'd. He's getting Kojima'd live because this dude, he's only doing this about Troy Baker because everyone called him out for being really overly negative about Troy Baker. I just love that this is what DSP does. This is like honestly just him misunderstanding the criticism yet again. Phil, you make fun of Kojima way too much, man. Can you fucking chill? Okay, Kojima's so cool. I love Kojima. Let's all like kiss the fucking dirty stepson. I love Kojima. He's so cool. Troy Baker's a stupid idiot. Fuck Troy Baker. Phil, you're really being mocking for wearing a scarf indoors. That's kind of like petty. I love Troy Baker. He's so cool. I love it. I love him.
about Troy Baker, I like him as a voice actor, and he actually hasn't been in much recently, so I would welcome to see him as a voice actor in this game as one of the main characters, so I'm happy for that. He's a great voice actor.
Great voice
Hope
actor.
and
He's
Nefertiti, don't know who they are, there's just...
I don't think Troy Baker's a good voice actor. He's not awful, but he's, everyone gave Steve Blum that criticism where he's playing the same voice, but I would much rather listen to Steve Blum talk than fucking Troy Baker. It's the same voice with him. Like, you could just pick him out. he's nowhere near the GOAT as Robin Atkins Down. Robin Atkins Down is just the best voice actor, period. Like you have him involved in something, I'm there. I turn up. He's great as Travis Touchdown, Miller. He was other people too, but he's a great guy. Love that voice actor.
Three main characters. Each of the narratives occurs simultaneously. So it almost sounds like there's 3 stories, but they're all taking place simultaneously, and maybe the characters actually have interactions during the course of the game. Your decisions with these characters will greatly affect the narrative of the game. Every player experience will be different based on the choices that you make and the order that you play the game. So maybe if you play with Nefertiti first,
see, that's cool. The idea of like choices matter, but with DSP, it's already like, let's not do that, because all he's gonna do is I'm gonna pick the choices that make a good playthrough and all this stuff. Like, he's not gonna do interesting choices. It's all gonna be, oh, what is the good ending, and not just get an ending that is interesting.
First, Tom second, and Hope last, it might change the plot. As opposed to if you play with Tom first, Nefertiti second, and Hope last. You see what I'm saying? That's interesting. Maybe some replayability. Apparently, there's going to be some roguelike elements. For example, I guess the protagonist's name the antagonist's name is Judus, and she has the ability to regenerate yourself after she dies. So you can technically kill the antagonist, but then she might come back later in another form, or rejuvenate after a time and come back after you.
Rejuvenate.
Which is kind of interesting.
Whatever.
The game sounds interesting to me. It sounds like they've taken an established premise. They've added some new elements to it. It sounds like the element of choice is going to be cool. I like the fact that it's not linear, so you could do it in different orders and have different outcomes. And, dude,
isn't that what they did in that one game that he hates, Deathloop?
One of the best modern games
that I've ever played. Like that.
I mean, that plot was so effing good the first time that you played it. I mean, the plot twists and stuff. So, man, I can't wait. This game sounds great to me. But, again, you got to wonder, man, with all the hype now that's going to be behind this, because BioShock has been on the shelf for, what, a decade? Will it live up to its hype? I don't know. But it looks good. And so I hope that we'll have more information soon. And I hope that it comes out, relatively soon. I don't think we have any information on when it's coming out yet. I just seen this information. Like, people are talking about the previews that they got or had, but no one's I didn't see anything about like a solid release date. I don't think the game has a solid release date yet.
Okay.
Fed Rogers says, keep in mind, BioShock 4 is still in the works. Yeah, but the problem with BioShock 4 is it's not made by the same people.
He's going to play it anyway.
It's the same company. They own the rights, but it's not the same people behind it. So there's a good chance it won't have the spirit or the feeling of like BioShock 1.
What if it did?
It might feel like BioShock 2. And BioShock 2 was dog shit. It really was. It was an unpolished, unfinished mess of a game that didn't feel nearly as good as BioShock 1.
Yeah, multiplayer, that's interesting.
Sad that when you play it, you're like, oh, I wish I want to play BioShock 1 again. Anyway.
That was a weird era.
Judas,
everything was getting multiplayer. And
I'll let you know if there's any more information on it.
Does this need multiplayer?
And then our final news story of today is that Phil Spencer was interviewed. And here's what he said. You ready?
You ready?
The layoffs that have happened at Activision are necessary.
Oh, boy.
Because Xbox is a business, and it somehow has to be profitable. He thinks that the console market is currently not growing, and that Xbox's brand pivot to games on more than one platform...
Phil Spencer bought all those game companies. Game's not growing. Let's lay people off. Wow, very cool. Very cool, Phil.
...is a path to growth. Allow me now to read word for word what he said, and then I'm actually going to give you my opinions on this. So here's his first big statement. I will say every decision we make today and tomorrow is for the better of Xbox, said Spencer. I know sometimes things get weaponized, and there's some evil in the background that's making us do things. Phil hates exclusives. That's why we're like PlayStation. We're on PlayStation and Switch now. Every decision.
Oh my god, I hate this statement already. It's like, dude, how old is Phil Spencer? Oh, evil stuff is working in the background to make us do stuff, and people say this about me? Come on.
Make Xbox stronger in the long run. It doesn't mean everyone's going to agree with every decision that we make, but it is fundamental for how we make decisions. This notion that Xbox can only be this one device that plugs into a television isn't something we see in the Gen Z research, because nothing else is like that for them. Some of them will have an iPhone, some have an Android, but all of the games on everything are the same. I can
Now,
still get the tick.
remember when DSP mocked everyone for saying, "Oh, Xbox is going multi-platform and all this stuff and all this," and he was like, "No, leave them alone, man. They're not doing that." Listen to this.
Talk on both of those devices, at least for now. All of their stuff is available wherever you want. So for Xbox, our brand pivot as we attract and maintain relevance with a younger audience is Xbox is a place where I can find the great games that I want.
What?
I'm not going to say anything yet.
But what does that even mean? Xbox will be a platform where you can play all the good games. Okay, so then what?
Keep reading word for word what he said
Okay.
in this interview. Okay?
All right, maybe it's gonna make sense in the second part. Let's go, Phil.
It's a little bit of both, said Spencer. But I'll say the thing that has me most concerned for the industry is the lack of growth. When you have an industry that is projected to be smaller next year in terms of players and dollars, and you get a lot of publicly traded companies that are in the industry that have to show their investors growth, because why else does someone own a share of someone's stock if it's not going to grow? The side of the business that then gets
But how is it gonna grow? Like, see how stupid this is? He buys these companies and then he doesn't really do anything with them. Of course they're not gonna grow. You don't let them do anything. Come on.
that then gets scrutinized is the cost side. Because if you're not going to grow the revenue side, then the cost side becomes challenged. We're a business.
Whatever.
I said this over and over. I don't get any luxury of not having to run a profitable, growing business inside of Microsoft. And we are that today. But just across the industry, you mentioned it. And in sitting here at GDC, because this was at Game Developers Conference where he was being interviewed, I reflect on friends of mine in the industry
Can't just
that
say
have been displaced
GDC.
and
Had
have
to
lost
say
their
what
jobs,
it stands for.
and how just I don't want this industry to be a place where
Wait,
people,
what?
Developers Conference where he was being interviewed.
Okay.
I reflect on friends of mine in the industry that have been displaced and have lost their jobs, and how just I don't want this industry to be a place.
It's kind of insane. Phil Spencer laid off all these people, then to say, "Yeah, I saw people laid off, man. It sucks, man." Yeah. I mean, Phil, you've displaced people too, man.
Where people just can't with confidence build a career. So that's why I keep pivoting back to how does this industry get back to growth? But to your question, for us at Xbox or any of the teams that are out there, is it really an outcome of an industry that's not growing? It can grow and it will grow again, but you see this time right now, and the implications have human impact, and we should all reflect on that and think about it.
Yeah, let's
Well,
think
first
about
of all, Mr. Spencer, it's not our job to reflect on it and think about it. It's yours. You're in charge. You're the one who's responsible. So if you're not growing, why? And if you can't figure that out, step down. It's
Just buy
that
more
simple.
companies,
You're
Phil.
in charge of the ship. If the ship is going off the edge of a waterfall and everyone's about to drown, and you're the one controlling.
I just love that Phil Spencer's saying this. This is going to be a Phil Spencer shit show, I guess. But it's like he buys all these companies. It's like there's no growth, and we're not making a lot of money. Then why did you spend like billions on buying like all these companies? Then whatever.
The ship. Do you think maybe someone else should take the reins? I'm just saying, like, you're in charge. We should all sit back and reflect. That's your fucking job. That's who you are. Literally, that's your position, right?
So but saying to reflect, I mean, he's saying this at a stage show, and he's not saying you guys do it. He's just saying like that's what we're gonna be doing at Xbox. Whatever. Okay.
When you hear shit like this, it's PR speak. What is he saying?
Whoa.
We're a company, and companies need to make money, and if we're not making money, we still have to make money, so we have to cut people. Wrong. That's completely incorrect, okay? People invest in companies for long-term results. People don't immediately invest in stock and think, tomorrow I'm making a profit. That's not even the point. Someone who's a smart investor.
Depending on who you talk to, you know what I mean?
Sometimes you'll invest in a stock that's a long shot, but you think that projected down the line it'll get some money and you'll make a big gain on it, right? People don't buy a stock thinking tomorrow I'll make money. He's literally saying, well, if we don't just make money immediately right now, right, no one will ever invest in us ever again. That's completely fucking false. What you need to do is
they're not making money now.
That your company has a
what's
plan.
really dumb about Microsoft is that they're not they're failing themselves because they have no exclusives. They don't have any reason. Like, there's really no reason to have an Xbox. I mean, you'll be better off getting a PC at this point. And it's like, they're buying all these companies, and they're not doing anything with them. They got Rare, and look what happened to them. They're doing nothing, and the stuff that they did do is stuff that no one cared about.
That long term you are going to be profitable. He is the CEO of Xbox, and he doesn't even understand fucking business or investments. I mean,
Man, he made
like,
his
it's
face
insane
so
what he's
red.
saying. Literally, it's nonsensical. This is complete short term.
He really, honestly, he needs to stop touching his face. He looks like he just got burned.
Thought that doesn't work for any kind of a long-term industry. He's making judgments in his company and everything Xbox based off of we must make immediate profits now no matter what. And
that's almost every company because they want these investments. And I think the other problem, as I said earlier, is that they put these huge budgets into games, and then it's unfeasible if they're gonna get it back. And it's like, why do it this way when you could just put smaller budget, give them a smaller budget, and have them put smaller games out? Whatever. Okay.
how a good business operates at all. There should be a long-term plan in effect that you can prove to investors it's worth it to come invest with us. Here's why. I have this in place, this in place, this in place, this in place. Not, oh, well, right now the whole industry is seeing some shrink, so therefore we have to cut all of our jobs so we can still pay out money to the shareholders. That's stupidity. You know what? If you have a ton of shareholders where all they care about is immediate profits every moment, you have a bad group of shareholders. They're not going to have
almost
your
every
back
investor
when you need them. So that's fucked
it
up.
says a lot. Every time I heard people talk about like game development, making movies, just investors in general, they all just want money now, and they want a big payoff. They want this and that. Like, I mean, recently today I saw that a lot of studio executives are saying, well, we don't want to like finance Francis Ford Coppola's new movie Megalopolis because that's $100 million and we don't know if we can get that investment back. And it's like, this guy made The Godfather, and you're like, I don't know if we could give him that much money. I don't know. How can we market a Francis Ford Coppola movie? And it's like, that's all they care about, is making money. They don't give a fuck about the product that they're putting out or whatever. And that's just true about any industry.
Well, it means you misrepresented your company as a get-rich-quick company instead of a company that will actually benefit people in a portfolio of long-term investments. You fucked up. Sorry that I have a finance background and I know about this shit. He doesn't even know how to run his company. He's making public statements that are cringe in relation to anything realistic when it comes to business. And this guy is in charge of the whole fucking company.
No, again, he mocks people for saying that Microsoft is doomed, and now we're having a Microsoft is doomed segment.
Absolutely unfucking real. I hate to say this, guys, but this just goes to prove, again, I said it again and again, the people who are in charge of these companies don't even understand the industries they're talking about, right? How often do you think there's going to be a giant, explosive, profitable boom in console gaming? Maybe once every console generation?
This dude literally keeps talking about how video games make more money than movies, by the way. And now he's saying this.
Just a spike. It's not going to be constant money pouring out of it, but there will be times when there will be giant profitable streaks. Do you think that Xbox's strategy recently is working? Buy up every fucking third-party studio and then literally just be hands-off and let them do whatever they want and pump out unfinished messes like Redfall? Do you think that's going to make money? But that's what Phil Spencer's doing, and now that that's failing, he's saying, well, we still have to make money somehow, so cut everyone's jobs. No, Phil. Here's what you do. You get fired, and someone else steps into your role who knows how to run a company.
Who's going to fire him?
And then you don't have to do that anymore. Someone who actually is take charge instead of sit back and act like a frat boy and dress like you're in college, right? Someone who can actually fucking put their foot down and say, here's what we need.
He loves bringing up frat boy in college and, like, all this shit about Phil Spencer. I mean, I've never seen anyone mock Phil Spencer for that. Just this guy fucked up the game industry in Microsoft.
With our games. They have to be good. They have to qualify these criteria that gamers are looking for. We have to be sure that we're hitting these markers so that people will want to play our games on our consoles. Not, oh, well, the games industry's in a downturn, so I guess we just cut jobs until it comes back. You're a fucking idiot.
Dummy.
Phil Spencer is a fucking idiot. What he's saying is ridiculous. I read this article this morning. I was like, are you out of your fucking mind?
Out of your mind, man?
It's just insane.
It's insane.
You know, it's absolutely insane.
Okay. All right. Okay.
But
okay.
I hate to say it, but you know, the whole corporate America in particular.
Oh my God, hate
is an
to say it
industry where
again.
people fail up. And what I mean by that is these people are horrible at their jobs, right?
Like
they
Phil.
do horrible things.
Phil fails up all the
and they're
time.
still rich and they still succeed somehow. Because it's like once you're at that level, you literally never get any accountability for what you do.
There are days where I feel maybe I'm a little too like whatever in my videos, but I rest assured I sleep well at night thinking at least I'm not as annoying and preachy as Philip Burnell.
You just continuously get paid. Like what the fuck?
You get to a level and this happens, that happens. I mean, shit happens, man.
There you go. Michael Caine just said something very interesting in the chat. You ready? He says,
okay.
There's an old interview clip with Steve Jobs. He explains why companies fail. Because salespeople get promoted to decision-making positions and salespeople don't care about quality.
Yeah.
You got Yves Guillemot over here saying,
so Disney says this, like, oh, he should be fired. But who's going to take his place, Phil? Another dude that's just going to make more bad decisions. It's a very tough situation.
Correct. Skull and Bones is a quad A game worth $70. The game is a pile of dog shit. But he says that because he's a salesman. You got Phil Spencer over here telling everyone, oh, all these studios we're acquiring are great and everything's good. Then he completely hands off with anything.
No, you know what? He fucking so when the whole Activision stuff was going on, with that merger, and he kept getting mad at the FCC or the FTC or whatever the fuck, investigating it. Like, hey, you said that you weren't going to do any massive changes after you acquired them, and we see that there's all these layoffs, so we must investigate. And he's like, so this feels right, they merged. He was so thirsty for Microsoft to acquire Activision. He was like jumping up and down, hoping for it to happen like a kid on Christmas Eve. And then, like, it happens, and then Phil Spencer, not Phil Spencer, but whatever, all these layoffs happen, and he's like, why are they investigating them? Huh? It's fine. And now he's like, oh, I can't believe Phil Spencer laid these people off. So we're totally not gonna, like, call back to what he did when he acquired Activision. He's talking as if this is a new thing. Like, do you have dogged on Microsoft for this before? I mean, shit happens. Come in.
About our dog shit. So then he says, oh, well, our industry's in a downturn, so we have to lay off people to be profitable. You're in charge. You are the people in charge of the companies. And the people who are getting punished are the people below you for your bad decisions. Do you see a problem with that, perhaps? Right? Really? Listen, if I make a bad decision, and if I do...
Well, yeah, but they don't view these employees as people. They just view them as, like, tools. To be honest, because like, yeah, if this doesn't work out, we'll just get rid of it and change it. But they're not seeing them as people, which is there you go. It's
things here on stream or whatever. I'm the one who gets punished.
I'm the one.
I'll be the one. Imagine if I said something awful on a stream.
Okay, this is complete clown world, because every time he gets called out for doing something wrong, he always has an excuse for why he did. He goes Phil Spencer mode. Well, you think that, like, my burps are annoying, but, like, the burps help the audience with I'm a real person. I'm a human being who burps. Whatever. He treats people like shit, and then when people say, hey, Phil, that's kind of shitty, you talk to them like that. I'm in a bad mood, okay? I'm angry. So, I'm sorry that you approached me on a bad day, man.
That was terrible, and then other people suffered for it, not me. I'm fine. I stay where I am, and I just keep, I can still be a YouTuber, but everyone else gets hurt. Imagine that. That's the positions these people are in. They can literally just sit here and make mistake after mistake after mistake, and their companies just continue on, and they continue on, but all the people under them suffer for it. That's pretty insane, don't you think?
Well, actually, think about this. He has volunteers who make DSP throwback videos, and they're not getting paid for it. And if that channel doesn't get support, he's gonna stop working on it, and the volunteers won't have a job that they do for free.
That drives me bonkers. That you have people in charge. I mean, I've already had issue with Phil Spencer over the years with some of the dumb things he said. I keep telling you guys, you can't trust the guy because he's essentially just like we just said. He's a salesman. He's not a CEO. He's not a leader. He's a salesman. He's put there to the forefront to push stuff, and then when it all fails, he just smoke and mirrors you to a different direction or something else and makes up an excuse or whatever. It's nonsense. The guy's a joke.
Nonsense.
I mean, why is Xbox right now, even though they have comparable hardware to the PlayStation 5, why are they so far behind this console gen? Can you think of a reason to have an Xbox besides Game Pass? I mean,
this dude, it's so funny. He literally was like jumping up and down for Game Pass. He was praising Xbox just for that. He was saying Xbox Series X might be his console pick because of Game Pass and the controller and the surround sound. And now he's like, well, can I think of anything else to play than anything else, man?
Game Pass is a great value. I like the Xbox controller better than the PS5 controller. But if all games are on both consoles and PS5 has a few awesome exclusives, why would you not want the PS5? Correct? So unless he can fucking figure out a reason to own his console, there will always be a downturn of console sales this generation. I mean, it's his fault. I honestly don't know why people like him so much. Why? Because he has a smile? Because he, again,
oh my
he's
God.
like a friendly guy. Again,
dude, no one loves Phil Spencer. I don't know where he gets off thinking that people are like, oh, Phil Spencer's so cool.
Friendly college guy who wants to hang out with you and play video games. He was in charge of Microsoft during the Xbox One era and now the Xbox Series S and X era when it's on a downturn. You understand?
Is that why he bought a Series S?
He's not doing the right choices. He's not. He's
rewarding the bad business.
He's doing all the wrong choices for Xbox. And it's sad because the hardware is good. There's nothing wrong with that console. I like playing games on it. It's his fault. He doesn't know how to run the company.
So then that is a reason to own an Xbox.
The thing he just said there blows my mind. He says, so we want people to think of Xbox as the place to play all the good games, but it doesn't have to be a console. Then what the fuck is it, you idiot? What is it? What are you talking about?
What are you talking
about?
Are
you a third-party developer?
Yeah,
that
didn't make any sense. But it's obviously they just want to make games for other platforms now.
If you have it both ways.
Remember, guys, Xbox isn't doing multi-platform, and fuck the people who think it. And look at him now.
Needs your console. You can't sell Xbox as a brand because the brand is the console. It's not a line of games, right? He says makes no fucking sense at all. Man. He's an idiot.
He's kind of hinting at multi-platform stuff, Phil. What about that?
Anyway, it blows my mind. It gives me a headache that these people are in charge of these companies. What a story! An interview at GDC.
What a story!
I mean, after that, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. For all the people who are like gung ho behind, Microsoft, I'll be honest. I have lost confidence in this company.
He literally talks like a fucking investor. Again, I've never seen anyone sit there and be like, I can't believe it, guys. Phil Spencer, I lost confidence, man. My Xbox investment may be a bust. And it's like, dude, you bought a console. Like, come on.
My Xbox. I love Game Pass. I love the controller.
He acts as if he has to get rid of it now. He's talking as if he's like, well, now I gotta get rid of my Xbox.
Hell, I still get surround sound out of my Xbox, which I don't get out of my PS5. But, dude, you can't be a worse manager. You can't be a worse leader. I really can't imagine. I mean, the guy is such an inept idiot. He's like an oaf, bumbling around, slipping on banana peels and fucking making excuses for everything. He's ridiculous. He's like, at this point, he's like a comedian. He's not a fucking corporate leader. That is not how you run your company. Like, what the fuck is going on? Anyway, it is what it is. I guess we'll continue to follow. I don't know how he thinks he's going to pull Xbox out of the fire when he's at GDC saying shit like that in interviews. All this does is kills consumer confidence. Imagine you're a shareholder of Xbox, right? And the CEO of the company you own stock in just said he believes there's an industry downturn And the only way that he can give you money for your share is to fire employees. Would you want to continue to be invested in that company? Or would you say, wow, this sounds like a ship that's sinking. This
He
sounds
really
like a
acts
room
as if
that's on
he's like
fire,
a
and I need to
massive
get the fuck out,
investor. And he's
right?
like, oh, I don't
And he
like what they're
publicly
doing, man.
said this in an interview.
I'm
Why
putting my
is he so
shares out,
stupid?
Phil.
Even if everything he says is true, it's
He's
still
going,
stupid
he's
to
going
say.
his broker. Sell Xbox now. Sell, sell, sell.
Oh my god, right?
Buy
Sometimes
Sony.
you have to be smart enough to realize that things need to be left unsaid. Phil Spencer's not smart enough.
Oh, you know what? This dude says this, but then he'd be mad if he didn't say it. Oh, see? So Phil doesn't get this, guys. This stuff's going on. He's not saying anything. He decided to zip the lip, as they say, and now he's not saying anything. Huh? What a liar!
He's dumb. Yikes.
Yikes.
Well, guys, that's what I got for gaming news today.
All right. Let's move on to not move on to anything else, but I do want to see what he's doing today.
Really sounds incredibly fucking stupid
God.
that he would have done that. That's just asking for trouble. And I
Asking
want
for
nothing to do with the guy. I wish him the best. I hope that things get better for him. I don't want anyone to be in a bad way, but I just want to be completely separate.
Oh, this was about Rich.
All right.
There's
I don't know
Rich
why
drama
he's
going
picking
on.
a fight with my.
Wait, what?
And I hope that your family members get better. To which he said, "Oh, this. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that." Then he literally later that day went on his Twitter and made a bunch of negative posts about me. The same fucking day. So after that, I was like, I've had enough of this guy, and I blocked him.
But he used. Oh my god, let's go back a little
and
bit.
then do that.
Let's go back a little bit.
Why wouldn't I know that? Because Rich has always maintained an incredibly toxic.
We have a fucking Rich
Twitter.
segment.
And what I mean by that is, he would always post up dumb shit on his Twitter, like really lowbrow dumb shit for idiots. And it's one thing if you just do it to your audience, but anytime he would tweet me in a tweet and then do that, I would, no exaggeration, end up with hundreds to thousands of the most brain dead idiots tweeting me for a day. Now, I use my Twitter for business. I need to be able to post up my schedule. I need to be able to read important things. I can't have my feed filled up with a bunch of fucking mouth droolers, which is exactly what would
But that, like, the only feed that would be flooded would be his notifications.
happen every time he tweeted me. It was a bunch of like degenerates would come out and start tweeting me nonsense all day long.
Oh, but I guess it does show up if they whatever.
So
like,
I blocked him ages ago.
Does he really
read
Twitter anyway
about
like
it
that?
And bitched all over the internet? I got blocked by Darkside Phil. So over the years, I tried to unblock him.
Dude, this dude's a clown. This dude is funny. So Rich is like, he blocked me, lol. And he's like, okay, I'll unblock him, block him. So he cares, literally cares what other people think when he blocks them. He just enjoyed Rich being his little bitch. That's all it is.
Block him, unblock him. The latest time that I tried to be nice to the guy.
Oh my god. And then he's gonna lord over his fucking, I was kind to his daughter that was in the hospital. Like, I'm sorry, Phil, that doesn't make you a cool guy to continuously hold it over someone. It makes you fucking a petty bitch.
Was a year ago. I heard that his family members, I think his daughter, was like ill and not doing well. And a lot of people told me about it on my stream. So I reached out to him with an olive branch. On Twitter, I DM'd him and I said, I'm really sorry to hear about that. I hope that things get better for you. Genuinely, it's not, I don't dislike you. It's just you caused me too many problems with the way you act. And I hope that your family members get better. To which he said, oh, this, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Then he literally later that day went on his Twitter and made a bunch of negative posts about me. The same fucking day.
See? You see? Because if he really felt bad about his family member, he wouldn't give a fuck. He would just be like, oh yeah, man, I hope you feel bad, and then leave it at that. But then he follows and say, I did a nice thing, and he still shits on me. Like, it kind of makes it sound like you were only nice to him to serve you, and not because you're genuinely nice. You know what I mean?
So after that, I was like, I've had enough of this guy, and I blocked him, and I was done with it. After that, I was just, and that's it. So I have had zero interaction directly with Rich in about a year. I don't care about the guy or anything. And as I said, I don't wish the guy harm. I know apparently he's going through a really bad time right now with a fallout with his editor and a lot of people crapping on him and hating on him and stuff. I know nothing about that. All right.
Okay.
I don't know why he's picking a fight with my trolls. If anything, you would think.
Dude, he
You
picks
would
a
definitely
fight with the trolls because for the same reason you picked a fight with them. Blech.
think that he would have learned from my situation that every time that you engage trolls, you give them power, and that just makes them get worse.
Well, no, Rich is just a stupid idiot who thought that he was like cool and he's like a tough guy, but he's just a old bitch. I mean, again, like I vaguely remember, and I still think about it sometimes when I talk to people about Rich and Wings, that they talk about Phil as if like Phil is a little baby, and I'm like, this dude is like was in his 30s at the time, but he's like 42, and they talk to him like he's a fucking toddler. Oh, he said stuff, but he doesn't know. He doesn't mean what he says. Like, dude, he's an adult. He should know what he says, and all this other stuff. Like, you can't just give him the pass anymore.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
And that's the thing. Like, why would he have engaged the trolls? I don't get that. That's exactly what they're looking for. They want you to talk about them, to engage with what they're saying, to engage with
No,
their
no one wanted to talk to Rich. Rich just went out of his way to talk to them. Like, come on.
That's how they milk you more.
Milk
right?
you more.
I mean, this
They're
is
milking
not
a human.
rocket science. This is common knowledge at this point. So you just ignore them. You just go on with your life. And I've had a lot of success in the last year, just completely ignoring all this nonsense around me, and I'm just having a good
Except
time
the time
now
that
in my own content.
he replied
So,
to
no, I don't know that he
whatever.
deactivated his Twitter. I never saw anything of value on his Twitter. Usually it was just toxic shit he would post up for dumb reactions from idiots, and then they would flood my timeline. So I haven't really looked at his Twitter in 100 years. The guy. I wish him
Okay.
the best, like a normal, mature attitude about anything for personal benefit. So I want nothing to do with the guy. To do with the guy. With nonsense. Who every time that fair enough?
Fair enough.
There are any. You know what I'm saying? Like every single time that I've tried to be reasonable
We're back
with
to
people,
we're
about, hey,
still
you wanna have a
talking about
conversation?
Rich.
You want to have a hang? No, everyone just wants to use me and my name for.
He wanted to use Rich. He only reached out to Rich and said, "Oh, I feel sorry for your family member," to get him on his fucking priest on his little podcast or his Easter reacts to fucking shoot the shit. And then Rich was like, "I'm busy," and then he saw what happened.
drama purposes to get a rise and to get money. That's all it is. They want the attention, the clickbait, the money. They can't resist it. A member this morning.
Okay, let's see if we did gamer news. Did we do gamer news today? I'm gonna say no. We got Jasper Kitty, so Cat's at work. We got the confirmation. She is working. She's working. She's suffering. Okay. Oh, this is his new stream intro, and it's more visual garbage.
Said, I hope that you are all in a good mood and ready to chill with me here on DSP Game. And we're at the 9th of April. I was supposed to start filming for this documentary a month ago.
Oh my god, what the fuck? I skip and we're talking about Mike Clum
I should
again?
say streams, like 2 Q&A streams, 2 Dondoko streams. Outside of that, nothing. So now it'll be cool to be able to get her back into something cool and consistent where people can show up and enjoy because they've liked that style of having someone else for me to talk to and bounce off of. As
He barely talked to her. Okay.
Me all day.
Sure,
and this
sure,
is cool
buddy.
because it's a game she's never played before, so it's genuine first-time reactions and everything. I'm excited for it. So I hope that you guys will join weekend night than say a random Tuesday or Wednesday night. So it's kind of cool to have that set apart as the day that we're gonna do it.
Oh my
now
god.
that we're finally locking it in, good lord, it's been Tuesday or Wednesday night. So it's kind of cool to have, but having it on the weekend, I think actually. The day
Oh my god, it's on the weekend. Okay. Okay.
Now,
he says, oh, her workplace changed the her schedule around. I'm gonna have a little Theo theory on this one. I don't think there's any. I don't think her job changed her schedule. I think she always worked Wednesday, and DSP just for some reason was hoping to God that Wednesday was gonna be her day off because he wanted to coincide with his day off, and since that's not how it's gonna work, he has to work into a move to the weekend.
we're finally
Whatever.
locking it in. It's getting through
Okay.
RPG Overload. It's been nuts. Again, I will just reiterate. I am so happy that I decided against doing a documentary about myself this year. I don't know when I would have done it. We're now in April, and I feel like
Again, you didn't even attempt to do it though. You could have done both.
things may
Whatever.
finally be starting to just get back to like in line and normal. And we're at the 9th of April. I was supposed to start filming for this documentary a month ago. I can't imagine how my life would have gone. I'm not even kidding. I think it might have been insanely disastrous.
What if it worked
For the
worked out
channel.
better?
You know,
Because
already
what
the
if-
channel was suffering
Whatever.
from RPG
Okay,
overload, and now
sure.
I was going to be juggling it. Go into it. First of all, a quick update in regards to Alone in the Dark, which I played yesterday. The Dark survival horror private investigator, traditional style Resident Evil-esque 3-phase boss.
Okay, I don't give
One
a
for an
fuck.
hour and then swap to the other. I'm not sure yet. I haven't. Most, if you take your time, is like 14 hours long. Unfocuses and focuses again. I can't. The channel will become way more financially viable, but right now it's a lot of. Is now live. Part 1, that is live on DSP Throwback. It went live this morning at 10 a.m. This features widescreen visuals instead of the
This is
original
all
crushed
AI, by
sideways
the way.
visuals.
He wants to make it sound as if it was a lot of work, but it's all done by AI. Like, come on.
Full 1440p HD. Full 60 frames per second. More sharpness in the text so you can read it better, although admittedly, the camera has an autofocus issue, and I don't think that I fixed that issue for a while in the playthrough, so you're going to notice in the many first parts, the camera focuses and unfocuses and focuses.
This dude hyped up this fucking playthrough as like, dude, it's gonna look so good. Oh my god, so good. Oh my god, oh my god. Comes out, well, it might look like shit, guys.
Again, I can't fix that.
Okay.
That's obviously because my equipment, I was so
Why didn't you
primitive
say
back
this
then,
before?
but that does get better
uploaded?
in time.
Hmm.
30-minute
Okay.
parts instead of 10-minute parts.
Okay, we
Watch
know
every time.
that.
It's so outdated. And wow, can't believe pretty much all I'm making on the channel is based on. I'm hoping very much that once a body of work is on that channel, streams, excuse me. Right now, it's rough. I'm making $1 a day.
He's not editing the videos. All he's doing on the channel that's him, that he is making, is the stream that he does once a week. Champ, I don't think you deserve to get paid for that channel. He already has 2 successful channels that's making money. I don't think DSP Throwback needs to make money, and he could just do whatever. He was able to survive with 1 channel. He could survive with 2 channels. Like, come on. And he's sitting there like, oh, it's not making a lot of money, man. Dude, you shouldn't be making money. He's not paying the editors. So he shouldn't be making money. And it's really fucked up that he's like asking to get support for this channel when he's not doing anything. All he's doing is uploading. A monkey could have. And honestly, I question that now. I'm starting to question if he even uploads. Hear me out. There's been a few instances. You can go back and listen to him. He will bring up saying, well, I guess we either need to log in and do this. So they could log into DSP Throwback, supposedly. Again, this is a theory. Again, there's just a few moments where he slips up and mentions that someone had to log in to DSP Throwback to do something or whatever. What does that mean? So I really wonder if he's even uploading them. You know what I mean?
On ad revenue, and pretty much all I'm making on the channel is based on what I make on streams on the retro replay stream or retro react streams, excuse me. Every once in a while I do get a super thanks, and that's much appreciated to those who've done it, but I'm hoping very much that once a body of work is on that channel, meaning we've got multiple playthroughs, weekly streams, all kinds of content, now the channel will become way more financially viable. But
now this fucker is like, this is about preservation. I'm all about posterity and keeping the stuff up that wasn't uploaded. Oh, blah blah blah. And then he said, I'm not gonna do memberships unless there's a reason to. And now suddenly we're trying to make it financially feasible. Okay.
right now it's a lot of upfront work, and
what work? You're not doing anything, stupid.
No, I'm hoping people will give it a look. I
And
really
he
do.
brings up, like, he always brings up the fucking videos. Oh, it's a lot of work. You have to edit the videos, remaster the videos. You're not doing it, and you're not paying them to do it.
I think that the Fallout 3, I was like, whoa. I couldn't believe how dramatically different it looks from the original peach fuzz, crooked, awful run, you know. And
Like,
it's
why
cool
does
'cause
it?
it's the
Like,
same
why
game.
does it need to be successful? Why does it? Why does DSP Throwback need to be financially viable? If all the point is just to re-upload videos that's lost on the internet, I thought it didn't need to be financially viable because you have the other two channels.
Play. It's the same commentary. It's not someone else replaying the game like me. It's the real footage. It's just had a lot of work done to it, you know.
But why should you be paid for that? You didn't work on it.
Fed Rogers says, "What about the music? For part 1, we left the music in because we felt that song, you know, I don't want to set
So
the
we can
world on." Claimed, and I
Okay.
disputed it. I don't know if I'm going to win the dispute. It's hit or miss on YouTube. If I win it, then I'll actually get some ad revenue on the video. If I lose it, then some other company owns the rights to my video.
Oh no.
But moving forward, I am going to do my absolute best to see how we can get this to work. I don't know if it makes sense to have the music in every part because I had the radio on a lot in that playthrough. The playthrough, if the videos are muted, more traction, and I would like to actually make money on my work over time.
What work? These are old videos, and you're not remastering them. Why should you be paid for that? Dude, come on!
But it's not possible if the videos are clean. We can see what we do there, but in reality, might just have to find a way to try to scrub the videos and edit the music out. And it's possible, but for what I don't understand, it's not foolproof, nor is it easy to do. It's just more work. So I guess we'll see moving forward how
Then
many
why
parts
do
have
it?
a ton of music or not, and if it's worth it.
Why do you need to get paid for whatever?
So
anyway,
all this is going on right now on DSP Throwback. The 3-part, you know, reacting to the biggest videos ever series. The 5-part Walking Dead Season 1, Episode 1 series. There's so much stuff. It's like I said, the channel doesn't get a lot of traction. We got to get to that point. And I think, like, the more, like I said, it's about a body of work. DSP Gaming. You have to understand.
It has
probably
a body.
The vast.
You know, DSP Throwback does have a body of work, though. Think about it. It had KO Gaming videos on it.
Majority of my views are legacy views. Meaning,
I just love that we're just not acknowledging the KO Gaming videos. We're just gonna ignore that those don't exist, even though those get views.
I have so many videos on this channel. If I take a day off, I still get views on the channel because I have so many videos. People are watching the old stuff, and that's the goal with a channel like DSP Throwback. Get enough content on there.
So technically, he could take another day off because he still gets paid through legacy views. Wow.
That there's hundreds to thousands of people just checking out retro stuff, even when I'm not doing new content. You're still watching the other stuff that's on the channel, and that's what makes it end up being worthwhile and profitable over time. So let's see what happens.
So he wants another channel to do that, to get passive income. He has 3 channels to get passive income on. This dude really knows how to milk. He knows how to milk. He's milking YouTube.
Okay, but so there you go. That's what's going on with everything.
He's a
I hope
YouTube
that
farmer,
sounds
man.
good. Big cumulative update for all of you. Segment, and I've heard through the grapevine that just perhaps it's your favorite segment as well. A little segment that I like to call
There's
DSP
news. Yes.
here on the Level 1 podcast.
Hell yeah!
We have
finally.
a few little snippets of news today.
Oh,
Nothing
boy.
crazy major
Here we
or
go.
anything like that. But I felt like maybe
Come
I
on,
should talk
Philip.
a little bit about news since
Give
we've
me
got
my
just a few
news
things going on.
Come on.
First
Shut
thing,
up. Move on.
breaking news. DICE has confirmed
Hell yeah.
that
Okay.
Season 7 will be the
Oh.
last one for Battlefield 2042. The game will continue to receive in-game challenges, events, and modes and ongoing maintenance, but DICE will not be doing any more seasonal content because they are moving their entire team to developing a new Battlefield game. I'm not going to lie, I forgot Battlefield 2042 even existed years ago. If you remember, when it came out
okay.
by everyone, slammed and just dunked on.
Yeah,
And
game sucks.
It had so little attention.
I'm surprised
on
it survived 7
skipped
seasons.
it,
That's kind of nuts.
I mean, usually I cover every major FPS.
Not
and
really.
The next year, people actually said, it's a good thing you didn't play it. You know, the community's terrible. No one's playing it. You know, they made 7 seasons of content.
Yeah, that's kind of insane.
It's like,
no one even talked about it.
Jeez. At least they supported the community of people who did buy it, but it was so small in comparison to what they were used to. And it's shocking that they made 7 seasons of content. I mean, it's years later, and they're now announcing we're done with this. We'll make the next game now. It's like, no one bought the game. I'm surprised they didn't move on earlier. The good news is I'm happy to hear they're making a new Battlefield. I like the Battlefield series. I just don't know. I have confidence they're ever going to make another good one. Like the best Battlefields of the day were the Bad Company games and Battlefield 4. You know, it's been, I literally
I
think
could
the
think of
last good
Battlefield
Battlefield
1.
game I played was Battlefield 4 at the launch of PS4. Since then,
whatever.
every attempt that they made, they had Battlefield 1 and now Battlefield 2042, and they're just flops. They're terrible games. They're not great. They're not fun to play. They're boring within a week. And there's just not enough to really hold you over.
I kind of had fun with
in a
Battlefield
competitive
5.
landscape of
But then I
FPS
fell out
games.
of it, though, so
So,
it's whatever.
It just sucks because they used to compete. They did. They used to direct
Okay.
about the only fucking first-person shooter game in a year is Call of Duty. So they don't innovate and they don't improve. Improve the netcode of Call of Duty. I'm glad to hear they are working on the next Battlefield.
What's the next gamer
Of course, it'll probably
news?
be ages till we get more information about that.
Give me the next one. See, that's like the best news segment you'll get from him. It's either complain, complain, bitch, 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 whine, 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 or a neutral news segment. That's like, okay, yeah, this game's coming out. Okay, man. And that's it. That's the best you could hope for if you want positive news from Phil.
Star Wars Outlaws. This is the new narrative-based Star Wars game. Not narrative-based, excuse me. The
Why
new
did- Whatever. Why do you
open world
sound
style Star
awful?
Wars game.
You sound like
It does
he
have
wants to mock
interesting
it.
narrative, but a lot of people are saying, is this like Star Wars GTA, right? It's now has a release date. It's coming out on August 30th. So I'm actually going to go into
the gaming
the
schedule
notes that I made the other day during my birthday marathon.
Yeah.
And I'm going to put this in. It's August 30th. Star
Get
Wars
hyped.
Outlaws.
Time to milk Star Wars. You're milking a franchise. Okay. All right. Wow, he's doing this right now. He couldn't do this possibly earlier.
Because obviously I'm interested in it.
He's
It
obviously
looks
interested in it.
intriguing.
Yeah,
It looks
because it's
unique.
Star
It
Wars.
looks
It's an
interesting.
IP. It's licensed.
So
It's a
yeah,
licensed
I'm
IP.
down
Love
for it.
licensed IP.
Story-based trailer released. It wasn't intended. I guess what happened was
It got
Ubisoft
leaked.
Japan's YouTube premiere page accidentally made the video live. They weren't supposed to. It was supposed to be like a scheduled video. But they screwed it up and it ended up being live. So then they said, well, the cat's already out of the bag. Let's just release the story trailer immediately. So they did. I haven't seen it yet. But
Time for
there is
DSP
definitely a positive vibe around the game.
Guys,
People
you
seem to
could
be getting excited
you
for it
can
now.
submit it in DSP Reacts.
Hey, if it really is a GTA formula Star Wars game, that sounds good to me. That sounds like something that could be quite well received. However, I'm just going to say this up front. My God, this game better run well. I mean, take a look at a game like Star Wars Jedi Survivor.
It better run well.
And level design, and the game ran like shit. It ran horribly. It watch and improve it. They didn't. So I said, fuck it. I guess I just got to tough through it. And I mean, I beat it. And I
he
liked
did
it,
say
but I
he
was
got
like, dude, this game
better.
would have been 10 times better if it ran good.
Whatever.
And the game became an afterthought. Like, most people never even talked about Jedi Survivor after about a week it came out. Because everyone
think Star Wars
agreed
games
the game was a mess.
great.
That's sad. I don't want Star Wars Outlaws to be the same situation. A game that's well executed when it comes to narrative. They need to release this game polished, well running.
It's an Ubisoft game. It's already fucked.
And just testing put into it. You cannot release this game half finished. Too many games today. They just think we can release our games half finished. We'll fix them later. This is a game that needs to be ready at launch. They've already fucked up Jedi Survivor. You can't fuck up everyone's just gonna think that Star Wars is just a buggy universe. Man, remember in Star Wars when it malfunctioned?
All right, let's
for classic collection.
On.
What else could go wrong for Star Wars video games, right?
I love that he's getting hyped for this, but it's a licensed IP, and I off the bat just have bad vibes about it because there's always a corporate CEO that's like, we need this to come out to time in with this and time in with that, whatever the fuck. So I kind of am like a little sketchy when it comes to stuff like Star Wars.
Let's see what happens. Hopefully it's good. The third and final story that I have for today.
All right. Final
sadly,
story.
we have
a sad story.
Legacy game and service retirement news. Remember, just a day ago, yesterday, was the retirement of the Nintendo Wii U and 3DS online services. You can no longer play those games online anymore without the help of like fan-made services and servers. The official Nintendo servers are shut down permanently. So you can't play any of those games online ever again.
Oh, no.
Okay? Well, guess what? They just announced overnight. Listen to this.
Listen to this. Get a load of this.
Beginning on July 29, 2024, Microsoft will no longer support the Xbox 360 store or the Xbox 360 marketplace. Until this time, purchases made in the 360 store and the 360 marketplace will continue to be supported. This will not impact how the community plays currently owned games on Xbox 360 or backwards compatibility. Players will be able to continue to download and play games they already own on the Xbox 360,
But if I bought
Xbox One, or Xbox Series
What?
X and S consoles via backward compatibility. So what does that mean?
What does that mean?
Let's
Explain
clarify.
it to me.
No, this does not mean you can no longer play Xbox 360 games. What this means is you can only play disc games, or you can only play games you've previously downloaded onto an Xbox 360 console after July 29. As of July 29, you will not be able to download, buy, or do anything online with the Xbox 360 games on an Xbox 360 console. On
Wow, man.
All
digital only rules. I love digital storefronts. I love digital copies. It's so cool that Microsoft wants to get rid of the disc drive. This is great news. What, man, this really builds on my confidence in digital only future, Phil. I'm so glad Phil championed digital only. He loves digital. It's the future.
You might be saying, well, I don't understand. What do they mean? What is this backwards compatibility? Well, remember, both the Xbox One and the Xbox Series S and X consoles have digitally on the 360. On my Xbox C,
my viewers are not that dumb. Okay, we know what backwards compatibility is here.
Only own an Xbox 360 console. Essentially, they're saying 360 is going to be like an offline console moving forward as of July 29. That's what they're saying. You can still play 360 games online,
but can I buy a 360 game on my Xbox
the more
Series
modern
X?
consoles?
What about that?
Just not on the 360. All right. Do I have an issue with this? I mean, I'll be honest, probably not.
No,
unlike Nintendo.
Of course he doesn't. Of course he doesn't. Of course.
No. In this case, Xbox has done a great job of game preservation.
Did they? I still can't play Lollipop Chainsaw on my Xbox, dumbass. There are still games you can't play on the Xbox. That's on the 360. That's a good job. They started off good, and then they just kind of didn't care.
In reality, why would you want to buy an Xbox 360 today when you can buy their modern console and play all the 360 library on it plus new games? It doesn't even make sense besides the nostalgia.
But they're closing the shop. I don't know, because you could buy 360 games on the Xbox Series X and Xbox One. But if they shut down that store, does it also shut it off from the Xbox Series X? I don't know. I don't know about that. And secondly, it's also a bad omen in the sense that what if they close the current shop? What about that? Like, come on.
Factor to own an original Xbox 360 in 2024. Plus, you probably don't want one anyway because they red ring.
Unless you get the new ones that don't
You want
red
to be
ring.
dependent on that hardware because it was very faulty. So, is it really a bad announcement?
This is like why it needs to be so bad for games, man. Because he doesn't really see the danger that this may lead.
In my opinion, it's actually not. You can still get your games. They're doing a good job over at Microsoft of preserving and having these games for posterity purposes on the modern
still can't play Lollipop Chainsaw.
This is not PlayStation, where it's incredibly difficult right now to play PS2, some legacy PS3 games. Really, PS4, PS5 is good because you can play PS4 games on PS5, so that legacy is fine. But man, at PS1, PS2, PS3, it's very tough to play those games right now in any modern capacity. Sony's not doing a good job with preservation or posterity at all. So it's kind of a different situation, completely different situation between these two companies when you really think about it, right?
Right.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, that is what I had today.
That is it for Gamer News. Thank you for watching this video. Let's do a vibe check. Let's see what he's...
Do that, man. You're tickling my foot.
Oh, okay.
Got to have that... I never thought that you'd be up to meow.
Oh my god.
Evil Person says, how close would you have to be already the next eclipse for it to be worth it to drive to see it? What are you talking about?
What are you talking
Content
about?
A lot. You're reacting stuff too. And then he's talking about my snorting, which I barely do anymore. And by the way, you wouldn't even be able to hear me do anymore with my new microphone filters. So thanks a lot for the non-feedback.
All right, here we go. This must be a one man tip. He has to read them now. Okay, we're still thinking. Come on. Da, 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 da.
Take into account with your choice of games. So most playtime of players are older games. Well, it's kind of funny. It's like what I just said earlier on this very show. I would guess, I mean, I can't confirm this, I get on this channel is old playthroughs. And what I mean by that is I've been around on this channel since 2010. That's 14 years of videos. And at any given moment, someone could search for an old game, find it, and watch it. And it's all here, archived in playlists, properly named, titled,
Wow.
numbered.
So he gets
It's
passive
all accessible
income.
stuff. So
Wow.
I bet the vast majority of views that I get on this channel are likely legacy views, as evidenced by the fact that on some days I don't upload, but I still get a good amount of views.
He's not about the views, guys. He does.
It's not the same daily,
man.
certainly, but it is a good amount, you know?
So,
I mean,
I love these casual brags about how successful his views is, and then he's gonna say, "Guys, I need support. I can't take a day off."
Days that I'm uploading, I'll have more. But I'm not surprised to hear that nostalgia gaming, you know, is also huge, right?
Right? Well, no shit, because it's hard to find them. Oh my god.
Cool. Anyway,
cool.
thank you for the $20 tip, 1 Minute Man.
1 minute.
I received a $2 tip.
Oh god, what did I jump to? Oh god.
Let's just play it. Let's see if it's something that I like long term, you like long term with them, and not the stream. The second lobby I did, people were like, meh. And the third lobby, no one cared anymore. People stopped showing up.
What?
Why? Because it was just the same people showing up to play in the lobby.
Oh my god.
It's not meant to be a public event for
all
everyone.
right, that's it. I did a vibe check. I don't need to see any more of this. Thank you for watching this video. I'm glad it came together by the end. I was really concerned if this video was gonna like just be a mess, because Safari's been giving me pain today for some reason, but it all worked out. Thank you for coming. Hope to see you guys next time, and remember, it is always... Oh wait, no, it didn't play. What the fuck? Why isn't this going through the proper channels? Oh my god. I gotta fix this. This is very important. Very important.